You call me who I'm in finance. Say you say a local direction we are.
I Maxwell Street or two corner street and the Nyajuma. Then we be a kukuru and Chino. Go and say maybe a master catcher to get it on Kodu and Amara some of our own direction. But it's a Dynamiasi power. Now what you do the data force for no court. You're finding almost say. I didn't know some disturb public peace as we be into data force. None for class at Debbie with the say so. Why you mean to court to know? And that's the medical court of 5 feet. I couldn't feel quite value in your man. I said, David, quite go for the first one. And so on also called Nikkei's. Now, I'm not by Munyadu. And some can or cause be a quiet buying fast to say, or this soldier for the police for buying some tomra. Buying some tomra. No, we should cast be a sad to be cracked. I know about issue, you know, issue mean. Of one bumper, number first one, second one, one more issue first one will buy, and I must say issue second one there. And she's come in and can in a court saying, I issue in the issue. Second one, the better back was but issue being is almost the same thing. Why me as something? Sikanazo, Chiama, a 47 point something, 51 or 47. A million. Yes. And that's one of the greatest high life musicians in the country. Once a Ghana say Obi a medibina say bibi wonumu and I say what did you soon be a dance or go for musician film who is the pan answer. Okay. Papa Kofi Ansen is one of the most meticulous musicians. Meticulous just bibi away be autonomous was kunchegu krataso. The Gojina studio with me away. Very creative. Namia dum were films at the age of 73. You see we any pamphas so any Christopher and His Excellency President Nana Danko Kufuor say Koya Papa Fast who did Jumedi and Kupon the Shen and Sano. Dear Shani, into Yaman State Barrier and to my Ghana and then ye now I say Amano Crabre. Let us say Yapran Chikra now or prepare Yama in be a 40-50 years time. Yes, and I compare baby my on the only my own Papa answering to you. Oh no, Musu 10 years. You are right, no criminal yard. And in the forecourt of the state house, I'm a young coho. Yeah. Now, young coho. I know because it's musicians in Yano, Mua, said you mean as a state barrier, and I'm saying, and Sanyan, aha. Send you Bianum. We listen to one corner again, when I state barrier, and I'm saying, they meet to match. I mean to me. Now, as about Kubiswabo. Before we saw Mutisa, now baby, and then is to be a committee, was a meeting. And some university pay be do come on and pay. And now radio stations need TV stations count radio stations are they sanctions to woman and say ahomija bam kakra. Now must can go for you to yourself they be am stations is Zuria FM. Last Zuria FM until 6 million. That's what the 50% that channel. Oh yeah say which 6 million which 3 million and 3 million of and I'll be say or turn the station turn in money and then wrong station go nipa dey won't fa price in 20% say we to see but I see for my idea but come again and more saving crown to community based radio stations no omo dey dey don born nyina ache wo mo dem they begin the period of 30 days say bibia na nkoye bia ma wo ye kasa bia wato mra no Sani mo na so timi normalize ni nyina tanu so ya dia ban chomu kwa de abai de omo na to odi. Oh okay. Big boys in the six can do with you about 50%. But yeah was can dey no bi okra o chiro go bi paso na dan so dia so na pa no ahwe kakra asem nye bitia. Well nti ye ho no but ye fa Ghanaian Times in Shasien. So the big can na memenda October 21st 2017. President Akufo-Addo with Miss Gloria Akufo and Mrs. Marietta Abreu appear upon former Attorney General Nadia President Shemfin Kakra. President Ernest Itlo's team for securing favorable verdict in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire maritime dispute. In fact, me tell court case normally verdict in the buy. No, say for the next 3 hours no be anti-say. You know, Cote d'Ivoire. I'm saying, how about you say? The flow be at me for lawyer be able to answer this. Say, at the end, they are pie. A pie. Who's a Ghana? Ghana. Now, also, it's a court ruling bar. It takes time for them to bring the reasons why I need to show on this bar. Until you need to read this idea and understand what I say. But the bottom line, some more idea. My idea. No, it's okay. Until I idea, this is never mapped to work for Ghana, and I'm sending me to venture. And Supreme Court throws out Wyoming. And so we have some more to Wyoming by in two. Not saying body could in a court no court and some 22 suspected criminals, traffic offenders arrested. And a UPSA revokes admission of 39 first-year students. Police mounts manhunt for fake landlord. On Sona Sem Ewo. Into Yanko page 3. Na Yanko can't wear your media and the Feria. Na the one so atwason. Malik Suleimana and a true story. Also, the Supreme Court yesterday stated that the state did nothing wrong in the valuation of the property of businessman Alfred Agbesi Wayomi, who owes the state 47.2 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Wayomi filed an application last week to stop the Attorney General from taking over his property. His lawyer, Mr. Safu Boabeng, argued that the AG did not seek the permission of the court before it valuated his client's property and described the nation's action as a breach of the procedure for valuation of property. He further submitted that Order 44/9 subsection 1 and 2 of Constitutional Instrument 47 stipulated that the AG must seek permission from the court before the execution of judgment, and that non-renewal constituted a nullity. There's a court assembly.
Menko.
Bachoko.
You. For Ghanaian Times, the work at Akram in Samano Pena, Kata de Abakata family and Sa Obama, yes, Supreme Court, and Ra Equa Sitina, na Sitiani Mono, and now one of HS, Ora Alfred Agbesi Wayomi, and man a lawyer for, and the cocotum penny for him say, a quiet fast so. Ebe susu na japade mu duro say ye be boni don komu anase ye betono Ghana ban Attorney General ma kwan of aso no esipa echia ene se wasanye bia no ye tro ne sakrata ne se ye ba be tu sa na mo no a enka bosumi dumienu ntama nsa na fofora ebia wo ma antimu aye bia nanka wo ma sa tro foforo ne we di wo mo tro January no tese January na mu no mo sa tro krata ne foforo sa de ba ya se nkro no a enti ehono wo mo abumra so nanso so mpanyufo edito nanim se nya de a aban edi fokwan bia so an nkrata ne de bobo so mienu enti ombeyi ba kwa fro enti kaneke esika ne de wonom ebeje enti etese nura ne nsem na ode ko ye twe na no ewo fom kwame
na no ewo fo ne throughout no na moja beba ye kwa homan so na ye ni Owura Emmanuel coaching or head of coaching or head of programs Africa Center for counter-terrorism and security. Delta Force some way tragu dada no afi enra da otwimu yenra na otwimu na court kudiba we ye kra say kra ye fine mutu sika 90 na go force nti ye kukuru na ye kukuru ndindin nyina say ya na ye kowie david we dey bibi wom ye na go for keka no say go for the MPP for na MPP for would treat them with kids clothes no ya kwa no kra ye nko na ni Emmanuel ntwinkomo ye man wakwa ba o
Pejudu anya
when you are apom to say
I mean the chairman and not by a little clarification to see
you want to say
the program director to see executive director program director
promotion about you executive director now with the congratulations so if I now train Delta Force in some baby a Korea, as a security expert, what do you think, say, people will make out of this? Go for can say, I didn't share, see, I know, go for the MPP for one, you best so much, I could not week, Boko, and Twin Chobia Subiana, Bunisa, several deterrent to be obeyed, I didn't be. I would say,
I won't say some way back, first, the early part of this year. Now, some of us even said it was an act of local terrorism because it was an attack on one of the arms of government. To the extent the NPP government came out to say they don't go by the actions of the group, even though they admitted the group were its members. But in some way, in its entirety, can we blame this death? It's the mechanism we use in doing our investigation. Other than the police project the criminality element of the case and went for the lesser charges of obstruction of justice. And there are because some with the police for no. So say first and foremost, their duty is to protect we the ordinary citizens. And say a company say a system, the ordinary citizens don't even trust their capacity to be able to impartially investigate cases they are involved in. Another aspect is to say, it doesn't even help in our fight for corruption. It means that if you have power or money, you can get away with the law. And in any fledgling democracy, once ingredients are missing, it leads to chaos and anarchy. And you have seen many failed states because of these essential ingredients missing. The public not having the trust with the very institutions that are mandated to protect them, one. And the very critical ingredients of developing our democracy, which is rule of law and fighting corruption. And see, this verdict was to be expected as at the time police officer on charges. Because the judgment by lawyers, lawyers. I use the services of one of the finest legal brains we have in the country today, Dr. Ali Nadia. I mean, anything combo ye about it. After the judge, whatever evidence is before him, and not the and in that very case, because of the lesser charges almost the buyer, that was the maximum punishment the court could give. So, what is the way forward? If we begin to criticize the judge action, it will amount to degrading the very sanctity of the law courts we are all seeking to protect. And another aspect is that it will even be contemptuous. And to me, I will urge Ghanaians to say, let's leave this behind us and look at the way forward and take the positivities in the case. All in all, no one say case no buy. All well-meaning Ghanaians accepted in our fledgling democracy, actions of this nature would never be tolerated or accepted. And then Suma Kwai, educate the general public to know, say, actions like this would never and should never be tolerated. And to Obi will be, no, you say, the party or power or my A or B, I'm sure say by now he or she will be revising their notes. Another aspect we need to look at is the party NPP. Because they campaign under the backdrop of anti-corruption. And it looks as if the death goal syndrome of the ex-president Mahama is catching up with the current NPP government so far. And I think they shouldn't allow themselves for political power to cloud their judgment. And yes, Ghanaians, they are one listening. And when Ghanaians are singing your praise louder, that is the time you have to be careful. A very little thing can override all the good policies they have advocated, and some of them they have started implementing. So Monsieur said, yeah, Papa Nana Akufo-Addo, to not cloud himself with bootlickers and people who praise what he's doing. He should be able to get objective-minded people around him who can criticize some of the things he does. That is the hallmark of a good leader. And Mikasa Assembly, we can have Papa Nana Akufo-Addo, the legacy, and answer, or as a young man growing up, he has fought for the ordinary Ghanaian. So I don't see why he will be in power and some of these things will be happening. It shouldn't happen under his watch. Some of us can only dream to achieve what he has achieved. He's a fighter. But he shouldn't allow himself to be clouded with political power and allow some of the very basic antecedents that can help in the fight against corruption to blur the belief Ghanaians will have in him, say, Obet Maye. Another aspect, especially in training your police service, is it the case that the investigative machinery almost need the capacity to carry out certain investigations and now say it is political meddling? When was the last time the police administration, or if there is a timetable of the sort, to periodically give capacity training to our investigative arms of the security service? We share in other jurisdictions. The investigation, it changes every now and then, and our personnel need to be on top of the issues. And they can only do this by giving capacity training programs that will be able to deliver these services. Are those things being done? The other thing we need to look ourselves to look at is the personnel themselves. What are their interests? Is their allegiance to the state first or to the political party? Our political party, they are meeting now we have votes. But sometimes you should not allow your political system to cloud it, because we do this thing for God and country. So these are the things we have to look at.
Okay.
So that's a using my food the Minister Police Administration can cry. Only say canino. Uti ho na police tracker ba. If you are not work for the crowd, not police tracker, but you are transfer no. But see, I know, research, and the initial indication is showing this. So police personnel, I'm not talking about the commanders and the senior ones. I mean the regular personnel. I've stayed in stations for over 8-10 years. And I ask myself, say, if you allow a police personnel to stay in a particular station for over 4 years, it brings a lot of problems. One, the person becomes familiarized with the environment he's in. Some even go underground with criminal elements, and some even develop some kind of acquaintances. So it becomes difficult for a police personnel of that caliber to be able to impartially do any form of investigation. So Metro Police Administration, and then they've done some soft hierarchy transfer. They should let it go down so that we can revolutionize the system such that people who have lived in places that they made themselves Jimmy gods, they can go to other places themselves, because and yes, I transfer as punishment. And mostly the argument they make is that there are no transfer grants. You know, say this is government. Government can buy money for V8 for our MP. I think the security is one area we shouldn't joke at all with, because we get security. One is very expensive, and secondly, is the backbone of every country. For your democracy to grow, if there is no security, what happens? So government should make a concerted effort. If the money is not even there to give it to the individual personnel, members suggest to say they can even invest that money in transport, like in the olden days where we have these police transport vehicles that come to convey your items when you are on transfer and stuff like that. And me too say, I don't know,
Ebebua Meda say Emmanuel Cotin, or Director of Africa Center for Counter-Terrorism and Security, and pay would you run him on Pams, the Abacan and work in the near one pies and your can, Ghana for Inatia, said him. Yes, be account. Now, one costume you are best in Busafa, the CID boss at Nabasia, Mamma Adranqua, Yatima. Very Yatima. Well, people are saying, the appointment, you know, I say, you know, you're born another Danko for the Brow born to us and to Abamana, or you'll be a Sebi, on fact, as you said in Sambia intra and Josocra. The mammy only A plus as some year by, I said, no. o police na wo ye adwuma na bia obi asabi oni obi anya asam o ye statement that feel na say watch ni pa kono kwan ya won fa so won to ne man na say any police adwuma no boy bra kakra na afi eti assign acting director of CID.
Yo, me bonfire party elevation on one man. It should be an acting capacity. And in a very short time, the substantive one will come. And yes, our party,
and on deserve our position, no,
yes, enjoy you crowd because we hear the way, me have Bright to draw. We hear Bright to draw to have committed his half of his working life, 29 years in service, and yeah, easy crowd. And the manner he left. Who say Omuka as I say, a country that cannot create its heroes is not worth fighting for or dying for. This is just a classical case because yes, I am motivated people to do the right thing or to even give their best to the country because at the end of the day, to honor party power no. So, Monsieur says, this is a big albatross on the neck of the ruling government. And I so said, Nipa de Mpuso, the party MPP, they shouldn't feel that they are holier than thou and they cannot make mistakes. And I think that if you look at Mamitiwa case here, all many Ghanaians are condemning it from both sides of the political divide and from public civil society. So, Mr. say the government should eat that humble pie and return their decision to bring sanity within the system. Because there's a saying that if the head is rotten, you can imagine what happens to the body. Because Matisse is alleged that Udo was asked to go home because of the involvement with
not to go home, to proceed on leave ahead of his retirement next year. Yes.
And I also feel that the issue around A+ with Mami Tuano has not been resolved. The OC will coffee or to proceed on leave pending on retirement because this allegation has been leveled against him. And the similar allegation on the one taken over that has not been proven. Who will say in the eyes of anyone in Ghana, another aspect, Bright just took up the position 10 months ago. Now, Mr. say, even in the police administration, they are almost some extension. And Mr. say, once he has just taken up the role and he has really done well, if you look at his past records, the government should have given him some extensions. Questions here, Peter, you're going to say, why did they even appoint him in the first place? If they didn't want him to last in the role. So, in some degree, if you hear certain allegations, say a particular MP has been making allegations against him, that could be a factor. The truth say, if we allow our politicians to have influence on who holds whatever position in our security agencies and what, because let us not forget, MPP will not be in power forever. Not party A, but power. Now, the party there is a Kofia. That's the time people be crying that witch hunting. But let us ask ourselves as Ghanaians, where are we headed to? Why can't we put a stop to some of these things? Such that tomorrow we don't blame ourselves. How do we even get to this? And Benny says, you have to look at the moral implication of it. Young Kwala in the age of social media, they listen to some of this. And they will feel that, hey, if you are growing up, you can do whatever you want and go away with it. And it's not surprising, so you're used to see some of them are not interested in going to school. They are interested in how to make money quickly. Internet cyber fraud, Mr. Kawani, Nema Weber. So in the next 50 years, thinking ahead, what will be the human resource capacity of this country to be able to manage some of the institutions we are building? So it ties up to a lot of things, and I'll plead with the FPP government that they should do their utmost best and correct this error.
And based on that, she can continue to act in a capacity as the Director General of the CID, but then being a substantive boss in there, you think it not be right for such a thing to be done?
Exactly. Maybe they took the decision to let Bright go on short notice, so it would be difficult to appoint a substantive one immediately. But if she's in an acting capacity, I think that it should be a short while and not for a longer period, and the substantive one should be appointed immediately.
Okay.
And Michelle say, you see, Kofi Boachimo, I think that we have very high caliber people who can handle this position. Kofi Boachi, you would know, Timothy Bonga, no high. There, Agubushi issue last time. Who can say that not Timothy Bonga, the Accra Regional Police Commander. And you know why I always mention this, that I've grown to respect him. Because on Qatar, and the structures he put in place to be able to handle that issue, also offer problems by. When I suggested to the police service to go and use his counsel or even learn some of the things he put in place, and they followed it, don't say Agubushi. And these are people we should use at every cost without any political colorization or favor. Because our police service, we should make it that promotions are based on merit and not a particular party a political officer belongs to. And yes, sir, our security agencies should be polarized. We must say, me a party A, me government for power, now we should say me a party B, me party for power. And what the system. So I think that it is hard time we find the magic wine and get this thing rectified once and for all. Amen.
Emmanuel Cotin, Executive Director, Africa Center for Counter-Terrorism and Security. Ima, yadase, ene umbrenu nchechumu. Abushana say yakwaba, yakwechumu say, and I say, ama, my appointment. Say, our activity, so our activity, appointment, or activity. Now, board man is okay. I don't know the show on South Africa. But you say, your crew, my dear, I mean, history is there to guide us. Say, your more supposition is in that acting capacity, 85 to 90%. You end up being a substantive. I'm not being attached, it's okay. So, I didn't submit to me idea. Man and Carolina for you. Yeah, and 2 women, and I will be. Me, what you mean, Nana, may call University of Professional Studies. I won't cry. Now, we say for a cat, I am a bow day, and safe. And penny for the University of Professional Studies, I know I won't cry her. Additional for best, Edria Sankuno, 39, first year students. One more assigned admission, I demand only in a few months, and say, he has a West African Examination Council results now. One more at the affiliate online, you beside say, when your grade say, and Yamasi call you now, more failure on phones. A bit more 4J. Grades no de wanya no what e de ahye ho no mo enti wo mo so nya se bia wo trotro ya de sandi wo mo ane no ano no wo mo fa akire eye nhwehwemu hunu sampa wo tro sa asohwe ni bi na grade na wo kana eno ankasa na wonya ya na no mo ko hwehwemu hunu se nipa dua sankuni wo mo aforge niema ene de aba enti se de so mo ko tena fi because untimi fa tro emma me dada school ni mpanyimfo ese oba besua de wo ho enti eno nso mo ama ne bo eno no na kwamnya jetia. Yes madam.
Katafa enum amani bobi aba ne mu ohun kwame
ere osigbo di mi yem hye me ka se me hu asem na aba
there bi na kwame asem aba nyina tie se ewiase nyina yeyi aman be se wo ha ene akire na empanyufo ye nhwehwemu ewo Mount Zion New York na nhwehwemu akoso afi 2015 ewiase nyina nhwehwemu a omkoye ne se ye hwe eniema ye ne na mframamu ye gas ewisie cigarette nom wi nom joto emokuye yie efuhwehwe rubber na ne anane ene niema ahodo ekoso enwuma mu no ensusu aso ade bre wiase nyina na se nipa apomdene na wose wo mu ye nhwehwemu no mu hu se esa wudodo no a wuo bebrebe ebe wiase na nsa ni nyina ejina se ye mframa eye se no niema enenam mu no na wose middle income countries no wo mu de pa ena ani soso na Bangladesh ene Somalia wo mu de nye ya chese baby eniema keka kono mpanyufo ensi gina yamfom na ensi fom ansoso niema bia no a ebe ye de ne pa na kwame wo mu kase saa enframase ye no ebi ne de nya ye se yade ahodo bebre na de ba wo mu se akomayade bebre ba aba ni nyina agina air pollution afei stroke eni yahrawa de efene se lung cancer no yahrawa kokramato ho no ni nyina ye mframa aseye niema ne nanemu ya emwa ya pomodene no ene nam so a ede abanti enipa wuo a ewuo no wo mu de gunsusu duro so na wo mu hwehwemu a emu be se 80% na nete se kwame ejina mframa no eniema abefrafra mu ase no no enne de saa yade ni nyina eba ekum nimpa wo se 1.8 million ewuo ya esie ni nyina ejina se ye miamia ye adwuma ebi kwa na ye factory wonane na ne niema ye so ni we so ye dua akofra we ne ye dia ye we wonkofo agina ho ye adwuma wo mu nyina enya yare ya ha adwene enti empo se wiase kɔ nanim ne ye dada ye ho no se yanhwe niema ye beje nsam wo se China wo mu so de e wo soro papa China amai no China ne to so 16 UK wo mu gina be se 8% yeah no wo de ba enipa dodo anya che 50,000 and na wo mu ewu a ejina sa air pollution is ntini ma ha dwene enti wiase mpanyimfo ensi gina ye na ye nsakra niema mu
Ghana di amam
no
ana pollution is onipa ne nipa so de wo ho ai no so wo ho but ye ne go ava am nti Ghana de ehwam kakra
oh sen de kia ne ke
ama yanko center spread page 12
na hodan kame be
no wo ho de na to aso
yo was for Ghana mampanyin na adodan kwakufu ado wote ema mienu ntem ema so no mienu entem na ne nyina ne se Ghana ani Cote d'Ivoire na aya apre mihyienie aha we ma ha yensuo so manso ana ye twen no ya empanyufo de niema gu akwaso na oman Ghana kan ya ye se ya nkwotwe ehye no pila na nkwa akire na ya ntwe amfa ma Cote d'Ivoire so diem ne amfa ma Ghana diem ye se se de niema nyina de gina na chese ohwemu de a chese Ghana ekoyie ede mayen na mamienu a wo mu gina brane boaye ehweye mra no ye de to ha ne beye ye dane ne de fa ha ne beye ni seye wo mu ebo modene afi Ghana mpanyimfo ani nche ni atwetwo wuro mampanyi dada agina jekumkofo Yera JJ Rollins chese Ghana mpanyimfo ani animdifo a wo mu abene ba no ya hye so ni tutu ensuo so fam a wo mu di ntintimai no wo mu nyina mpanyimfo ekyerese wo mu nim die no mu nyansa so nenam na ni titiri kura ye chief ya maame Sofia Ekufo na afei Marita Brew apia opon wo mu ene di ntintimai wo saa senie mu wo mu ba no mu ne nanado abeta nana yenye ni sei kanema mpanyi John Dramani Mahama wo ho na no so saa no makọ president ye de fa hade a ene ade ne nkoyi mfa ma yen ye pese ye ni sei de ene ye mfa sei ene ye kwa ne no ye nkasa ye betena se ye bisade ye beka ne se ye de ani asenka enti wo mmode ne moso ena saa nkunimdie aba enti wo de abaso bo aba eni ncheni atwotwo wura wo mbo aye ma saa sende Ghana atie nyina wo mu nyina abodwa data ete ha no mo atese Ghana mampanyi wo adwodwo ne ho ena o ti ma mienu nta wo se mo ya de yesi man ntimi nya de mema ye nso we de mo abomode ne papa na Ghana Armed Forces kwame woni fa cadet fa no wo magentiti ya wie menra ye commission wo mu 107 officials ya sese wo mu be di djuma e de abo ma ya sere djuma na no na Ghana mampanyi de ato wo manim se wo sere wo no mada ai soja adwuma no ye fra mu mema na so nya mema masamo babro enipa ana mbetieti enipa fa ahodie so ana se wo ye soja ni nti wo bepopo wani a chenkofo da bi nya sa na soja adwuma ne ka wo de ne se wo boboja pade ho ban na wahwe ama adwuma na mu die ene kwan ye fa so edi soja adwuma no watimi yanam so pepepepe na de munyam hye abre oman no na bambo ho nsam egina ne na so enti eno so wo mo eye ne tashi ehonomo na Ghana mampanyi ekokopie weni bredi kan ya wakɔ sa adwumade bi free se obedi mampanyin ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana emu January 7 besi nne no weni bredi kan ya wakɔ de nani akɔbɔ akɔnhoma hwɛ sɛde omudwumade ɛkɔbra wɔnom pass out no kwa
president now say ka o show mo atade ni bi
yes wo sha na wo bɛkɔ
Ebetu
adeso.
Ebetu adeso ntini efoso ma sha na wo sha pedes ebetu adeso.
Okay. Say no just here.
Do kan emi say o time be so a na efoso de asho se be ma o time so wo kontishe ne ko.
Asawo.
Ana say wo kompepero hu ko sha.
Wo kompepero hu ko sha. To be deep for baby.
Say good luck Jonathan Shebi Nigeria. Ancho no ko
Yes.
Jim. Oh, what about town? Good morning. Good morning. Now you can share ADB director. So feel Liberia ba.
Oh, okay.
Call Kenya ne ko to abano. As Supreme Court ka say anko yom santo fufuro no.
Okay.
Na osa ko lead ECOWAS delegation on call Liberia.
Ukra info.
Oh, said the course ne.
Yes.
Tenokra no upon we are vice president in Bakai.
Okay.
And say obi so mo bracket. Nti o mo sa ko second one November. November no nti excellency president ana be sa ko. Former president John Dramani Mahama. John Dramani Mahama na de ona po asoso. Asam no results na ye ne nwanwa still ye ne nwanwa. Because men transit si na yenka say eno anu no da. Bia change there me na. Bia to ayen one still. Eno one cry say presidential aspirant to be here. Because before Congress will go. Na papa na so you born to ko be so honorable wa. Na say wo mo mba nyina o. Let me know. Uba say wa na wo konti wo tua na akosa.
Say na say say fear delegates. So
o kwa delegates na ntia bowie no na yere to dey say asumasi 19 no busa na say 19 oba say me catch you me say 19. It's Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, former President President Mitchell. Good morning. Well, recover and you go down in history as there be shock no.
Okay.
Sure, electoral shock. Now, I'm running so chess or Sabina microphone, you answer you to moon. Now, obey.
Easy.
And yet, trauma, and why never trauma? Was the boys in you're losing to say win the president? And then my politicians because of more could do.
Yes.
It's very difficult, from readjusting from president to former president.
For somebody to nobody.
And a crew man Ghana and so and also the term now be any side no call the constitution 4 years.
Yeah.
But also our question so 4 years. Now our 4 years anka akwenya na wo hwene to so na bibia it comes also a vice president na nipa say be 7 is the boss na me fa ne cran say o free mu na by constitutional mandate na have to aso no anso call ne de na win na nko ko ba na difficult but I like the way you handle no we be say okay me sorry I'll declare state of emergency if you happen on Nigeria Ibrahim Babangida the two about Abiola Moyeso Modi when also Abiola na also the declare state of emergency. Abiola the prison Abiola wuye. Nti why there? Oh yeah, why there pa. Me dem do circle bi anam kan no.
Dubai.
Yeah. It's very pa. Especially say drive fast here wa form
pa. O nam soro na ntem.
Dabi na fu o ji kwesi for mo de kwesi.
Nam soro me so biri.
Oh dabi yes. Abi wani. Yafa delegate African to us was the MPA closes down 36 gas stations. Ama the almost when the nails you close it down. And your radio stations close it down because when they say I'm close it down now, they say almost some of the stations one say nozzle now almost share your gas no. You be there cry a leaking or then to my guachichiri. Nso kwa no ko Johnny Australia ma. They say kwa the station video do baby a udua.
Na so any kwa me mentia sense. I say ye nye baby gas filling station pe wo say nuane ton for ko no nuane wo hoton.
Nsa ko for beto gas. Gas station baby go kura restaurant wo soro. And I chop ba won chen. Ba
ku bi e wo agbogba ho. Filling station na gas ibi so won chen.
Agbogba ne
he. Hacho agbogba.
E won crime.
Yes. Mo tetrasa konti munnim areas. Na kwame wouldn't say almost see ye can say apartment e wo filling station no o ma ye mat ni bi e na soro no ya apartment na nkofo rent.
For rent o.
Yes.
Two so na pa na show mo to gas.
Enti edre. So be ne dey. So be kan.
But you say you name bebre ho. I was say it me. Say we site gas station na the trouble so ben chen to go fill gas ni nu so a ko di fufu awu
sir
what di fufu your name market kisi bo ha you mistakes like say insecticides say di kun tonton ni ade me more brand bi ade di kun tonton unim say e bit mama jafra mashi but ibu ha na o kitchen wo tafre ba ko wo no fe na gas nso was we are not so gas no there's a fine fire tidi nyina o say it me share so now for gas stations no was a certain of gas stations that were outskirts of town. Me, I don't advise it. Number one, we got town no you guys nephew say the beko krumu let's abide by all the safety precautionary measures are between the ayejuma
god we go shen samampom ko enen samampom kra krobeto no we kwana ngofo tete ngofo na so didi enti ye nyini aye ko yanimu aye wuna yesu nyama aye de tra na ye tre
yes gas filling station we say mu from be moose of Anko area a gas filling station also choba wo
yes
and say Ghana so mo patronage choba na doors say restaurant no
na anu ya atomic de ye hye obi ye ayi wo ho no mo obi apart from teaching Ghana obi ye ewo fufuo eton choba so
go for beto
yes
no wadi no afele gas oko
ndi jani jano didimu abonsa trigger na kwame omonso so ayi no omudi gu tank na omudi fuel ne gas ne egum underground
a chef for no
I thought be do filling station is ultimu say hwa no mankasa as hwa no mu ne tu oil no eya na nya fin obonsa na eso papai wo eno anse ye filling station adodo na munya renovation bia o
on say sika padwin na we yitim no eso sense e badwin nipa nkwa ho nti obi abeso ye filling so on say ya obi atofu abokada we dey check out more cast go full price say that na cost so anti
another bokada who wonder
who more card say the Yanko page 3, start with page 3. We will deal with you. Minister wants public sector engineers who take up contracts. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amoakwanta, has declared war on the staff members of the ministry who have allegedly registered their own companies and have been awarding contracts to themselves, to the detriment of local contractors. He said, and I quote, I don't have any prima facie evidence to this effect, but from persistent complaints from contractors, I can say that there is an iota of truth. Whatever it is, I'm sounding this strong warning to all of you, including myself, that if that practice is true, it must end immediately, unquote.
Yo, I was now for young Koy anyway. Na amane bo kwame se kata family nsa na ye kan we fie mwa
page 3 daily graphic
daily graphic da bo kata family nsa eni wa chasa Ghana ade hie binom ya ba beto dwa ese wonom ehu edi nseme kwame ma fa wrong paper mpacho ma me Saturday de no ma ode no na menkan emu de mikita ni ye Wednesday thank you enti abusafo kata family nsa na memene dade a ode ebaye Minister of Roads and Highways Oru Akwesi Amoakwanta na ebokokose wasrapa ministries ahodo no ministers ni any ministries ni mu adwumayefo a wo mu ankasa be companies na eba se ya wode contract na omo ade am companies omo fa ma contractor fo no ma ye adwuma na omo hweye enya sa wo ya akro empanyfo so opechi a ho be chopa na wo se wan se da ni ebi anyina so bia se bia wo hu asemese na obentin so wo ye bi na bom asam na yese na we ka contractor we ka say the contract in the macro mo ama biebie companies no na mo am ye nnwuma no enti ye contractor fo no anse ye nam ho sa ye nya bi nye kwa na ekoso ba nye baako ayeko ayeno ayesa kwa na ye ka ye keka no enye se obi sori anu obo ntim keke enye de no kura bi ebe wo ba bi enti on de obokoko so ye ministry na wo say wo de contract no mo na mo de menti no mo amatete companies na mo amache contract na fa bi mpie nkwa abonten na mo ye na mo san age mo dada katu ye de ma mo ne mo allowances ne ade nyina ka ho de a o ya kreso mo a waso be ye papa ntwe ye kokobonsem a wo de ma ministries ahodo no ni emu adwumayefo na Kwame yanko katafa dunsia ana
me what that into about MPA closes down 36 gas stations. 36 gas filling stations have been closed down by the National Petroleum Authority for not meeting industrial requirements. The reasons for the shutdown include non-payment of statutory and distributors' margins, as well as non-compliance with safety protocols. Ghana has recorded 8 gas explosions in the past 3 years, resulting in many deaths and the injury of more than 150 people. The recent explosion occurred at the Atomic Junction at Medina near Accra on Saturday, October 7, 2017, and injured 132 others. According to the acting chief executive of the NPA, Mr. Hassan Tampuli, the shutdown of the gas stations was part of an exercise by the NPA to promote sanity and safety in the petroleum downstream sector. He told the Daily Graphic in an interview that some of the gas filling stations had no permit to operate. I'm a bit major.
And one mom kosi. I was for Catafadunsia, a Daily Graphic, the Wokatemu, Mabel Akuna, this asem we think I watch gas filling stations, Makuma Quadria Sensia 36, and Empenyum4 Atumu. Na National Petroleum Authority, Empenyum4, and a seas agent, ya, were 2 and 1 among so. Now, what just a Jumano, a Mrada, who I did 1 more a day. Now, do one Yadia Umudi Embraso, a fay, Tisebia, and Tokia tour, would draw Binuma, war on almost 1 tria, Bambo, some, yes, as woman do Aquaso and Sana, what to me out, pretty gas filling station. And Yadia do draw noir, womo aye, and I'm sorry you so and Omo to an amoa, say womo aqua cotuto emono. Now, what just said. Enfiemi en Santa Muni Ghana gas explosion no makoma ko nwotwe NSA ye nipa ewu mu no eye makoma ko oha eni aduonum 150 enti ha adwene pa na ye ntimi ntina se nkoso anyen hwe ha se ense ye nti na NPA wo mo ede nhyehyeye naba wose na anu die ye beka ye kire kra ye Madina die ye no ma asefim sem bebre esiye na Kwame wose yewura Tampuli ya wono ene ye panyi kwanchefo a woda National Petroleum Authority anono wode atodwa se to no omutum nye obi adwuma no mbeso omugu no na send beya si obi ansore keke si obi adwuma even workers no mu ye adwuma wo sa stations nangasa no kwa omu nkwa ho nsam ede sanim niema ni akade yesese adwuma ye ni hye ansa no wakwa akogina ba bi si wo ya attendant so ye ho ahwan e wo gas filling station no ni nyina ho nsam etosin eno eda nchen a premises ho nankasa omu ye adwuma no niema esese omu ye wo ho no mo ansa no omu atimi ye di dwuma no ni nyina enkoyie afei mia ni bi wo ho no mo a wo mo ekoye a best 90 gas filling station wo chese wo mo refill plant a wo mo di ye adwuma no empanifo ko inspect ye na chese ho nsem kan na yie afei bi ni wo ho kra so a emra kwan ye sese omu fa so ansa no mo atimi operate no Kwame omu amfa so na wo mu edi dwuma ntia ka ho bi na wo mu etu sa anamon
well the Hassan why are there 36 gas stations. I mean there could be more because according to MPA for most of some chese. In fact, of all the stations, some the percentage, about 99% of them will be at home. 99%. That's a 1% thing. Almost all the filling stations were problem. Somebody took one, but we are Alasa Wataraba, hey, now tribune, Nina, Bama, your refine, if you're not free. Your Hana Bufrasa training as sorry, near see 200 months. Oh my 36 this more they should go and do more.
Just so dear a dark Catafedunsia. Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, woman just said nationwide strike no mkaso mobeye na nke nra na nke beba so no Kwame woman just say dear enyama so na ene say yes if Chief Justice Mame Sofia Kufu any woman kasa say woman tu omo boase na e for strike no mo ye no enyina so na bosse enyina ne say Penyumfo Ghana ban e was so tua wo rent allowance edema wo mu ya e ka condition of service ho be se naduduo ni na ban emfama wo mu nti na nanka wo mu ebeye sa e kosa strike ni so wo mu nya adwuma ene ese ne obi a case entra ne fie ne obi a entra ne fie wo mu so mu timi ko ye adwuma because oni ba bi ti a onya asomdwe no de aba be ye adwuma nso penyumfo ni wo makasa ma sese de ye etimi ato ye Kwame agitia
yes I say that asomdwe aba
yeah.
Rent on your tua.
Oh, you try, but
I buy so
yeah.
And you promise you.
Yes.
Okay. And but what the delegate will be all.
I'm Yo. Yen konito anabebum.
Yen konito. So stories in Yedika Kanana thanks Itlos lawyers, commissions, army officers, Wyoming bounce back.
So I Abranti na wo.
Atomic Junction explosion tanker driver na wo.
Yo. I was for daily guide the workout to kitame. Na de yedi kan bobo so na nkata nyina de ba yentina tawo yenti we mfamfiri ho Atomic Junction gas explosion ye ho asema ye ka no tanker driver no a tanker na ejani tom no driver ni na wo ka no yesi e friend Yusuf Seydou abantie no chese ne ho anka ne ho anti wonenam ho na no ya wada na public relation officer Edema LPG Marketing Companies Association oru akwami redu esu wo mu dom wo mu hia ye ese wo mu edi anobaba ye na enhyiamu ni kwase na chese Yusuf Seydou no adrafo ni nyina ni age ama no kwami wonim de entia tanka ne hye ye no nyame aye na doma ma obidumfo bi asa ama ne car na chese wo be san de aye adwuma nko ye so be ye jobless entia chese aye ni gia obi as wuchi nyame adu hwafo fie we de otie kwami wo mu kasa hwe kwan yo mbe fa so adi omdwumade ye no mo so ko ba ne se hye na wutwie no kwa ho atwie baabi ana hu se awe na ache ne ka wo na wonya ne je ka na me nkom baabi wo mu kasa obi ehu de ye brei na watori mum prekope ya moni boni nsuo kwa me yetam no de no kokodra ya sabia kana na bese sima bese duonu ntem a doctor for say abantie Yusuf Seydou wawu waye nyame dia Tema General Hospital and assembly see na ya asefem sem enti oru aredu chese o mo ru papa wo bi a ne ho anka na wasanya ka ni bi kwa be ye adwuma ma na yire ne ma enso sa ka o ma no afede ye nyina wo mu nyina de ni je na Yusuf nyame ya de o nyame ya de wadi ho afofie afede Yusuf ye kasa wo ko ye ni kodwa ya sabia Yusuf aye nyame dia na oru aredu chese enye gas explosion no ebia sebia wonya injury binti ene nam so amene wo se we ye natural death na chese wono a ni wuo na adu so a wode awu enti enum amane bo eno no kwame
ano doctor fuhwe mom ye no
piaro na eka
piaro so mo we check last Wednesday graphic story be here wo and criminal free here
na me ko ma so
and that's enough say page 60 or say items left unattended by road cause accidents. Dr. Ponsan Road Protection Agency, a non-governmental organization working to ensure safety on roads, has cautioned motorists to be mindful of the activities of other road users, which have the tendency to cause accidents. Okay. The founder of the NGO, Dr. Alex Ponsan, said most of the road accidents were avoidable if road users were given the right education. Okay. Now, Sanko for me, no one could happen. That's why I'm so much interested in the story. Say, am I on okay. So, I'm not going to be me for anyone also. Naka biya says you. Na number 1 kan kwa no ni triangle ho nti nwura
o mudi nwura
aha wo twa nwura
enra na adjustment so
one hwebe yo so wo kọ sa na dia ko bom the Dr. Ponsan ne NGO ne ye ne say omo dem ko through all the country Ghana won one sika o nya obi asika ono one sika
no mo de ne
nem ka bia saisi ka bi okro okọ ne so short to petrol no ja ka mi so abufu on tu kan si bebia ka bi nso asaisi kwa ho a blocking crofo bu okra e cars bon crofo bebre because car na sinanim o twema hu se car na ba na kokora car na bono but na bi si wodin obi an koka hwe this accident si asa na koye fro do na NGO do ne say such cars no you free kwam
oh okay
nti car bia block wa no ma hwedin oh me call office am chem video
na enra se me hwade bi on se wonam N1 ne so a nse kwa no we yen ya ye koni na hafo so wo mu lane na obi akoto obi car na ya to no enam de ode kɔ no so abefa o mu e ba ne de mu ene wo hia odwene ho ba bia
nti se wo kɔ na waye wadwen se wo de wo se wo kɔ na de be hia na so de hia na de be CSC nti Dr. Ponsan de oye no eboa pa but won se do maybe he finds it difficult because sometimes do baby and so futi police for adwuma I am TTU for adwuma nti also o kɔ mo kɔ di permission sometimes getting the permission from the police
and so yes and
so yes no busan say dem so oh sometimes ko phone fees police for the fees o be gina adwuma but e adwuma nso a wonye because na yeke on say Ghana do we now can too much so kasa do obi kura ye obi bia wako police akọ report no so the taxi by No the car by.
So
and she said, "Go for cars, I say, cause accident. Now, no, I couldn't go in the car, so I contain a car, a see what for about 3 years will be any. Don't know how car being a being in a phone at his own expense, at his own cost. Sad people, such a show crying to me. Now, by so boom. A Bible almost say, you were towing cars, you Rakuya, a folk of a buy, just group of companies go for buy. That's one group of companies. Mandatory to because any man getting kitty boy neglect a year through gas the by starting here
because everyone just at 11 na obi car can see you what so we doom Joes and petrol na say you and na one also ni light a watch in so and what to haban boys not to haban the good kwam na haban.
I mean, what this haban theory, but haban reflected a reflector. Continue to go into one who
said Brian.
It's about more doctor. Also, toilet to become Ministry of Interior.
Yeah,
so I mean, need permit and all actually. Up to now, then at that table, so I say, let's help you, let's call them. Someone in here, let's give them guidance, now training no money because when you're a accident they say it being can always so anyhow but there is there until Dr. Bosa kudos why are there daily graphic so what the share page 16 at the back come why are there pa and the last one is say and the ongoing world under 17 football tournament at Ekoso ewo India no Ghana and Mali and
Bongo di Fara ewo na Bongo chese India hono uyi agudi
Bongo di Fara no oye nipa ya ni adwuma wa o ga se bi agabon ni bi na
Bongo ese eniame ekoso kama na wo se India hono be bia bewura bia hotel kra bonze bosom se ano ote se o mu mfa o mabosom se mu ni agro kwakwa
o se ye ni friend bosom je ka se bosom na se bia
so o mu nyame no
because of the Hindu religion nti o mu som nyame no o mu som nyame e fa sadly ni Sagana ya omkofo bro musum na nanom yade ebi sum a Christopher sum Yankopon through Christo
said the entire can say omo abosom ne say nse bra obi bedwum adwini bi e de asi ho say onum na osum ya sa anti ne ma ya ne ya kan say
but religious experts which say obi say kremo for musum Yankopon through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ana Christopher through Jesus Christ nti omo sum sabi ne kan abosom no word for from bosom no wo sum nyame through sane ma no nti ne twa moja ne ade so nti omo so omo gidie no de wo hon no abusafo ya di besia me wo few birthday wishes be a was me di to join say no ka home ball no eso 22 and so messages na sase bantem message na sase bantem tene ye kan say yina ye nhwe yi de bia ba de bia me saka cho patro so wo kitchen na wo ye aduane na you use gas wo use bi there you are sorted wo use gas you move be use gas na on your phone call entie ne kitchen ho na phone no say twa waso na wo de kasa no e bitum ne gas na di kaso bom na ko fa asem kese aba nti eno so yen kan na yen hye no so happy birthday to James Owusu Kofi o Santa Maria so ni Santa Maria
Santa Maria
Kwashima heya
and na kwa mincha doctor aye atomic energy hospital ho no wo consulting room 3 eji doctor aye good morning
ho na akushia no
agata michia mo
kushia no consulting room 3 okay happy birthday to Dina Owusu Japan or Sterda Pharmacy Weja Block Factory Dina we free therefore or the UTV Dina Owusu Japan or therefore UTV don't hear the other Dina Owusu Japan Sterda Pharmacy Weja Block Factory and the management of Kenstoke Hotel Mozo Mechacha mo kofodia
okay
and see
ambassador yes
talking about ambassador say Lumba so ko ambassador Ghana tourism since an ambassador position I too
yes
unse galamse ya na gaba ikutie that the Lumba ambassador wanya hwe call the nyomba junyo tata moye adwuma no and two so a tourism ambassador until that the Lumba ko an ambassador position no two that the Lumba 2
and the massive break that ye chawa no pay na kwa me yenra ye nana otumfo osetutu ofri Brazil abedru asantememu enti edom ekohia no de anigye ni osebo ekohia no wo wemhye ngina bi enti nana ya mo akwaba ye de nyame ase so ode wa ba bedura somdwem de amaye
na wa tena se na ye beji bre na ye hyeda be fie be mo akwaba otikokọ so ye de nyame ase so ode wa kọ no ode wa ba somdwem ntabusuafo part 1 ni be si ha na ye twen ho aba ye ba pe na fe na ye be si nkunya dwendwen Ghana ho nsem wo kan nyina no ya friend nim di fo na so be chichim na omba wo so betumi aka bi wo de be fa 1441 na mpo 0249694152 text message and which means so at the WhatsApp the same line 0249694152 try na yabasisia Yasa abadwa abusuafo afi na yebesi nkunya na yadwendwen nsema twegu ewo my Ghana ho anuanu mienu nam no bedi nkomo oba akoko ba akọ na ja me amenu Sammy Jemfi so ka ma sha Jemfi Jennifer Kwani kasama the ruling NPP Jennifer Mwakaba
me je so kwame
na boko de
am ya do nkaka
na Sammy Jemfi so gusu awusu ande aso obeye lawyer enche obeye lawyer and so politics no di mutinti ma pol gusu na mo a na do mo konenim ene okasa ema NDC Sammy me Mwakaba
okay mejozo
cha bibia boko de
oba de na roma
nyamia
kakra yebiso
Samina no bus electric stove for heat kakra sa no do the can say and then someone be do come on ye time nti me be say bobo na fi PKB number 1 a withdrawal of license of radio stations by NCA and then matters arising and good news will be by ye be do come on afi Ghana launches digital property addressing to to say Ghana Post for so HMB. Now we never bought because the graphic to revive Ghana Post and say Ghana Post and you answer PO box the same confirm tell news. But to say with this new introduction of address system near then Ghana Post between our Juma send fatane send the President Krasio say blue kiosk na demand of what direction if you know say the trem and also one some ho. Now we have the appointment of new CID boss and the Buhaha surrounding it and some ewo home pa emrebamwa na 13 Delta Forces members no omo fine 2,400 Ghana cedis will be no for escaping lawful custody no and also so yedi home come tell abani for ladies first let me start with Jennifer na for Jennifer ma open check because me who watch it na o chusu mi no na ahase
kwai me ma watch na me ma me have ma to so watch me meti krom a obasa no obeya amamre wati ase so free say krom na ba minimum how many hours so see
eh you know watch it Sammy wa ha o
yo
Sammy abankan be no bi osuan lo
say no so ne na bi hia no so ne senior chef ko na bi ya friend no he's already in the party
and one day you turn out to be a lawyer and then
of course but say no so say the senior on hoda na say me hwe
say na bi so betu nkofo
no correct that me I say me kan mo no mi no di
yo na bi ni ha
no correct that me dey kind keke ye kai bona me bo no ma me fa nchi ama his excellency and adan Kwakufu Addo obrempon obo adwuma ene the vice president Ira Dr. Baumia ene aban appointees apamfo nyina ene ye nyina ye adwuma MPP for me chia am say be contest wa unim say we be contest abotre nko ane de awie because ye wi a e ya manyuko ba ko na yeso kwa me
eno ko bi
eno no
semre no so a obeko bi
nyame adum duru ha ye be
ko gina sen
nyame adum kwa me
onka position na me fa kompa bo ma
kwa me hu agu so be enu ye nka ho asem bebre aha ne eduru nso
ko fa cha se bon to ye hu dide ne same so hu nu aba oni omo di
eduru ha nyame adum na ya no maso so mama ya kwenye so we hwede ye dikan mebo miwra na basopa ne MPP echita fota na chinyina wo hwese 10 months Ghana di esi apini pa won so wo show iso na nyasam keto akora edim sa titim esugu Ghana for so se monto aba no mfamaye ye ba ye wonema bebra ye beye me miti asesi ama wo aho apa ne se wo fa se nya nuru onuru onwie school so obenya but nyame ya no next year bi ade na
yes just na be
can it say medam what I say enu nko akeke same ye ti o so enu de mo yade ye wo inside o so enu de mo yade
sana same ka
na mse same ye ka se be ye because 2008 so wuji tu mu a na Ghana 40 years so mo na mba ye na enye the free progressive senior high school and quality the quality can right so mo dey baba na nkola no borders ni tu more than 1,000 Ghana the students more than 500 Ghana free quality no ni progressive no but then yes o ba time be disguise dey asho botom nkola na ye na omo ye num betimi akaska na bom na de asho ho dwa nya brebia na abema bema aye dey abo akoma na obehwe dwa nso betimi abo abema ne fie no nkwa ye credit ti abatan ye wo Ghana ma na mema de ye bona na dan Kwakufu Addo enne ne mpanimfo se ye ka se ye friend o se ade oyo 10 months ewi ye the address dictator friends away dictator address system ye de aba ye o se yakwakola she friends what do you call it
Jennifer you sure say we ba one of topics ba
me ba so there be some chia man kai Ghana for you say ye do weekend kwame
so ye bring tin kai chance ye free radio station
when dey do say ye niam a ehye nkuran ti me wi anam de no so kakra man ha
achievements of the MPP in the Ebeka ho
ame ma Ghana for hu de ya ye tem ya na some mu refin crofo we no mo dia fam kakra nti me we na nkai bokwa nti ye do man pani ase ma me fa ye digital address system me fa so sen ka me fa me yenu nti me ne wa man ba ko na me
fa the radio stations now and see for close it down say
o masa
omunye mu de na mo de hihye bia ba am say yes
I maybe cry 50%.
I say commercial was am 50%. The car would be 50%.
Me 50%. Na ba me no cry no nyame amamu a ye ton radio station na na say TV station.
Obi de ka 4 million Ghana cedis now.
4 million Ghana cedis.
50% is about 2 million.
Na 2 million aka ye ton adwuma no ton mu nipa nyina ko ahwenti me antua. Me kai say won hwensem dro ni bi ko trust me fa. Ye ro hakma no ho. O so adma ho na ye asa o twa na damage court o se miura. O patch on o se ton me ankasa mu. Any paper na metro no kura etimi ntua scan enti fache. Na wonim bibi. Ya me yetrim ye de e won ye ma bi ho se aban bi aba aban bi ko de ma me hye nkran. E hye me nkran. E ma mani gie ne se me MPP ni mapa. On za me de mapa so so. Ye mfoa eni e ba bi so obebu ani agu bibi so se enye hwe. To say I for instance, enye hwe ni mabrabom bibi aye hwe ma me I work on it. Sa sika ye kan nyina say ye tua na dada mre bi atwam an and kabia kiet media ye mpuntu dwuma akona ni
media kura ko 20 years
fantastic it means ye kura ya bako ndisi abako omaba ya san ya dey aba enti bia ye nyina na mre bi atwam ya ahwe asam na me de ka menye we this a national issue enye partisan ade na ye ka ti nessa amanyuko bi aba also the paper yo say obi ani nsan obi ntan obi adwuma ye no say ye nya friends say responsible opposition party dey na ye responsible opposition
na mo ye responsible
papa ye ntimi nya adwuma no e ma nye so ti ase ye ka say ye tena ho na da bia wonko akwa asema ye ntia nipa mienu di nkomo a me baba se nipa mienu mu di nkomo kwa me no bo nkomo so one respond ana same an true one friends one contribute a e ma nkomo ni di enya da ntini ye hia wo bia enti emfa se hye ba ye na nya ne bone so ne yie mu se be ma be generate no kura betimi amasika aboman ni mu se ye the 50% abaka ne na na so ntimi ntua misika ne bi wa ntimi mo na menti ase se ye adwuma se so ye adwuma na wotimi yi wani se ade bi wo wa mentua wo se ya ahometewo because ye dan kura na akọrent wo fie ra ho na woni wo fie ha definitely 2-3 years obagini sika wani obetu yenya sa friends say comparison near hard they say so ko hand dan one to ya rent so one to so betu that now ma yenyina ya yenhwe ha this is the time so I think it be a TV radio stations no will meet requirement NC4 no eso mo hia na 50% no mafa kwa bi so mo tua ye bogumbe kroma ye bogumbe titim ye bontwene ye wia nyasam keto opposition tena say some mu do mafa ni ku a na ye nka hwenkyero ma omutu odin ane mpa ye koso no say omani age omu nyina ehu say Ghana esan aye de biem Ghana asafa no ntoma pa ye de efra biem no na bre bi atwam ye say bogumbe ko radio station bi pa ye din nyasam keto oba be say amenko titim na say kada ho say obi a se mo antua na de hye saa na no na ho na kakra na de politics rum no ba won ba bi amekira se kana ba beda ho wabogumbe ne saa na wabogum gumbe no bibia an kan wadwene say wo say me kotua ka bi ba bi ana skabu wo say me tua mo man bibia no wa ye ya ye fadie e wo Ghana ye ho nto ye saa so ti ase tu bogumbe no na wo kansam etia candidate bi mo ye ne ma bi e koso no men kase omo ye ni nyina ye bi a party bi radio station nya ne saa na me ka no are ye ye ni nyina na ye tua ye to ene ne ama abebo me kai se mi nyini no ye wura fie magege friend say dampofo no mka dampo nya dampofo me se dampofo abo me kai ni nyina se dampofo abo se krikri na ni pe dwane no ne ade sa time no na ne ma ye adwuma ebi na esaba ne se Ghana ebe ye Ghana be fa no tuma pa frenti na ama ne ye de nhyehyɛ ye pa ye de egu akom so we are all praying say nyame adoma ometimi amiti but kwa me say de me kan no radio station bi wa me minimum akoso da no I don't know ebi anu mu scam between say we can say 4 million
ameka say obi there 4 million Ghana cedis
na 4 million Ghana
cedis yes it's 50% and 2 million
kwa me ye woni pe bi kora o man 1000 Ghana so watch 500 500 so say tu ache no that's what must just say tu ache no
and then nkofo bi ka say Ministry of Communications no yes is being too hard on them rakwan so no ye na dwuma but so catch radio station say because of say or they can't revoke the license on ye dwuma bi mu as we dey kan ya ka say nkoye dwuma. And the only means of which you can is over your man. That means to say, you have to how do you pay? So can I say,
say, be honest, and no matter so much, I'm taking 50% off scan no more. So I think as time goes on, be and share for Robert said, you will be the cannot walk court. Court is an abit me, so I'm supposed to be 20 pesos, or 20 pesos, the pen between me. A day I'll be 20. I think as time goes on Beshe. Na bia ebe boa radio stations and see any Ghana mine because ka ye nyensi for nyini ye je dia to Ghana for two but what must say said that for so sika ye nyem fama MPP headquarters ye je dia kwa ban
ye sika to futo so dey hia pa na mo se bia radio station djuma so obi dia ma Ghana mo gusu di ma Ghana nso ye se di
bisu di adwuma bone na nso ne obe nden sa ho na wo kan dia se ne obe kase wo dia hote be close ni nyina we are talking about money. That's one thing we should know. Say his kasam ni eka enye ye dia aban no press kan nyane dia ono wo hweso anambo and don't think that all this guy Jennifer na wo dia chesa me
nyane chene ngofo kan but you say yeah nyisika no but they find another way. First one and it was too harsh.
Fantastic. Say now on say it was too harsh nyina nipa cassette enye so mo cassette ya no mo tro mo adwene sector
minister kra kan no achi kra before no na release no I can say obi a revoke license bia no you better the new applicants.
I know the man in fact man.
Oh, me tell you.
I'm that's man the man bia sometimes when issues comes up and for be apart from general way now be can be more personal opinions are on issues. So sometimes BBC are not worried side so but as time goes on say the American na e say yet me 50% every room e bedru be be better than share to say okay 50% mom payment terms move into I know ye adwuna me kire but what must say enye nsi penny na aka kire me say be bedru on ye because Ghana ye nyina ye di mu ntina ye dey e pe na aban we so kwa pepe ye settlement mu fo ho beto mo man be di ye man nkan kɔ ne nkoso nti e na ama ehye bi a na eni ho enye adwuma enti kwa me ho no
we dey na no hye pepe na ye piska na nkofo adwuma bo
na kwa me na so nim say we bi mfie aduonu achi e ba be boss ana de ne wa ye na
ye na agya tum say obi a no involve obi an say no question no de kana wontu ana na bi also ye na wonye dia and e tiamra
of course
but ne bi fun kuma ye fun nwa
no correct oba so say be oja na go ye ntwantwe no be pepa na so akora no so wani kan na so oja na agu ma me so no so another thing we should look at that's what I'm saying.
Enti yanko digital property addressing system no as a Revival Ghana Post. Oh, say one of the achievements when
Papa say me ka crash me ka 10 months.
And then this is for so one chance here.
Yes.
So digital center no mo na see here.
Kwambe nya de obi e ka say you say yen kan be bia da His Excellency aka say on start. So on ka say MPP.
Come achievement mo.
Oh, of course, say you be we need the head be come. Ana unti ni mama kire na say. Say President Kufuor starting N1 ni. One be we, one commission. Ye Ramels. It's credit no come an. That time park room ha. Ya hospitals ni ade nyina wo me anya woto. No mo ko radio so na adwene de obeka. Because that time na achievement na kwa mo. Oti ase. Me ntina ba bia nka say be ye na ye sha ase. No, nka sa. Communication oh yeah I was say wasam eka and who be abesha ase free maybe akwakowi. Within the week programs amaye nyina TV radio the argument minim yes am be kan say be menye apart from say me do 4 bar no menya hu na dwunu amompa ya mana no penti me hu de woni tiri mo be kan no pen about this issue what I say but the colleague communicators ameni o mahia nyina and yes starting and ananado wa acknowledge say ye wa moye na wa moye din na o moye din ya kwa be de wo hwase ade no wi se me hwe
o se o hwase na ade no wi
se na kwanya bebre o eti se bi wo mu
na kwa shi di ogusa de are se ni nyina so
ni nyina so say okay anyway bi ba dwene ne sa
because no matter how good you are in terms of developmental projects now
she project na betima wi ansa na wa ban akona wi ye
aban bi betima to kwam
but kwa me ready we bi wo ba bi say ade ni nyina na nka ebe cost I think ebe wi ni bibia em say ebe cost $1.2 million I stand to be corrected but if you no inflate ade na ma no ko 2.2
but unless so to become a bia so ready o che na nka ekima wi like that to
say it is so onye information bi so so you do your findings before you talk about it
because so the presentation our radio
anyway I understand point no what you say eti o dey assuming me fan say sa na
we were N1 yeah President Kufuor shas no yeah it did not by fish or call
so follow idea na kan ho ya na waka so aka
now President must be to us said during the commissioning of President Kufuor so papa o party na shas in Banian to us but sometimes I feel say any shas any here no is not neither here nor there
na say free except
for say at least say and president ni beneficial about Itlo's ruling ni adi no ka say oh then predecessor His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama took a bold decision
nya na wa boy omo no shemo balance equation
bold decision the other one yeah fast na for yen I mean it's nothing but simple for
kwame ya nya ne ha say papa ya kwobon se no kwa kase on se na kasa susum to omo fan square we no o say but ni nyina mu no sami wi ado ne men kasa ye ne President Beka
na se sami no kasa na President kasa
na ye betimi ayi bi se no de onim acknowledgement pen omo po sorry e no pen ya de omo pe ye start ye no mo be wi so ma me chire but me nya bibia na betena TV so ayaka omo nkofo no start omo akasa kora within them no omo ankasa no kora no issues we say bi askade bi koso ba bi na gidigidi esa wo amanyo se mo ye ne sa ne de nsuo we hya wonsa na kwa me se wo ye na wa wu nu atwa na ntine nsuo beduru se ya wa hwe ya wontimi nwie kura na emu sa na wontimi nwie wo be wana Jennifer te ba bi na oba fa ye boy be ka se Jennifer be ye we no onso bo wontimi starting free ba bia wo hya ase no but yen hwe na ni gisem ewom kwa me all these arguments I wouldn't say enye necessary nyesa na meka but the make can say yen hwe na mfaso a be ba maye hwe me kan say wo bank even a name po cry na way abebe class anyama ni na afiro ne bone ene nipa die eja kra to ba bi no ne ade a wo be frɛ say frɛ 199 ana say frɛ bi a 191 bibi what you say but
frɛ no mu ba bi a wo no
fantastic
na say address baby a wo che direction na mo na ko bibi e wo ho
yeah wo call bank you say okay wo area need this friend say address wo ho ye dey nipa bebre ni address ye tikuro ma o uduru asoy the Pentecost asoy bi o fa ho a obi otutu kokko sa Monday no oba na kokko ru na ho mfa no wa ma na so wa bayira de tosu mienu ko hwe obi te say cantonments ni East Legon we only car offer taxi akọ you can imagine taxi fares ni ade and say won kra now me fresh am ya won fa what is my friend kwa me sa won fa kwa me phone no me obata bi a time am ne kasa wie na wanya emergency bi wo rubber bi
so you cry network
ebi so cry network 80 no kra no se we na ba no ubetinya wo pempen kwa mbewe na to na wo twen no de wo so ne ka bia na na ye den aka ti na ni gise mu a ewo mu no eno ni ade ye very important and I'm happy and ye politics ye amanyo sem ye ntimi nyi social media mfrim ukọ edisi for mu wo me friend list ni ahwo mu poster chese utim sa ade na ba ma ye nyina ye wan ye den atoye
de no mo ye fa
de se bebre so o ma try afa me mpese me bo me nua be ma ne din afa ma me ma we bi ade we me ka kire me pani bi wo me call Germany na me call Holland na wo san kam factory na bus na me say be drive na jama hekrom oho aba town e friend asala o sa wa onim watena kro nda e che masala na dem sheke eti say o ye drive free Germany udru border no so ne we na wo kona kro no mo fe Holland kro no so de da kro no musa the ye to free Düsseldorf akon na bo obo ni GPS na see en fa dot wo du dot wo direct to afa me anti ni gina so say me be friend wa friend say me hu so ma pack we need 2 hours 46 minutes na
Momodru
ya dru ni ya gina ho se wono gina no flat no hu se ya park o se me hu se me kire ne car me de nam ne ade o se me hu ampa ne ya gina fi opie ba ne ho ampa ne I was surprised na me ka kire me madam for me ne nam se masa ade we yan ya ban yo betimi ha bi ho o se o Ghana de na order o te me kakra na me se hwe ebetimi ayi bibia ne ho anya possible bibia yi determination what you say
even before then no na NDC for jika to ho na mo
I say obi a ban bi oba bia for mine yi e na me catch us wudi no so utira anye ye ne wani nya den na so be ye ne bia sabe ye wo position no nobody wished Era John Dramani Mahama say e bia na mamu na mamu ne nya den enkoso me I didn't do that but na say be criticizing about nyama bia na enkoso no de now we have every right to do that because o bomb pie say come born say o man no so tim bia na moa ti me bomb pie say na manyo no ya bia fuel price nkosoro we nkosoro abitim bi o ba be ya o be call hospital wa be call hospital obusuafo be call eti no obi a wo hwe mo we friend say bia ade na o mo start ye enye yi that is not the case enye no ho asem ne
sa kuma na o se Ghana ni bia nya so de bia you start a project bia
obi bo ba be to aso
what to aso do baby it doesn't matter what to aso na de na ye be be siwie no ma Ghana fo nyina chere say asomesi na obi ntin na
cha starting na Jennifer be to
me say ho na Ghana fo nyina de akoma na yi politics na
free na be national issue ana mbo en say na papa akoka na be dia abona baso we no kura na say de na mu e de omfa square we no ne nhyem ya ne bone so kwa me efe
Jennifer me that
me sure say e dey ho asem besa ba biem ti papa be do o mase ye be go o maba so mo ya de kwa same mo ya de
omo ye de no mo ya de
I say omo so omo na start na mama no mo piafo anti won fa ma yewra
ka so omo si na de say omo say omo na ese
there be say no enya sa ye betwe akwa me ne gina de aba e be bo nyina ne gina so a ne ye twene tan
anyway
e be ye den
way free Yago so from Mr. Omo say, see Mr. Wayomi, ask for that our taxpayers' money, whether you like it or not, you have to vomit it out for us because we are coming to collect it from you. Giddy, 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 giddy. So, so Mr. Man, you better start paying before the state chases you with Attorney General's orders. And there, Omasha say, "Kongo kan ho asem e court." Hello, I'm Kingsley from Kumasi, but from the look of the NDC man's face, I can see he will lie. Oh, are they? Oh. And to the NDC, I say congrats and learn how to be to become my private lawyer. Okay, when your client is here. Okay, good morning. You're doing a great work. Thank you. I'm really happy you invited a woman to your studio. You know, mostly men tell her I love her outfit. Sappho chemist, Dansuman. Oh yeah, sure, sir. Advice didn't go on a level. Chief Manatoni said, I disagree with Mr. Kutin. Oh, that's the interview we had with the director. The director of police CID can only act, but she shouldn't be allowed to take up the substantive position. In any case, what is the crime of Madame Dankwa? I believe that she will do better, so we should support her. Bibia be fine. So be so there or they buy. Let me take this one from Junior Napo. Yes, the rule of law has done its work. People of Ghana, let's support and pray for President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That his dreams may come to pass and Ghanaians will smile. Greetings to Nanama and Ashanti Regional Women's Organizer. Still maintain the lead. Chief.
Obenyemi dase. Dedi kan mamema yahwefo a omo hweye free echichi ne bente nyina achi. Na UTV adechensroma for producers me mama baso dwumaso a mo dibua omen impuntu ensema wo dia gupu no so se yembobo hu yensema ehu hia ye pa yensema efa oman we ekanko ne oman we impuntu nti hu be hia se ye be kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm ni mu ama nipa ehwe ya no pɛyi atensɛm nase me pese me start free NCA penalties na so mi na maba Ghana Post GPS onsensema abanos. You see NCA asema ya ba ye ken anything ni nyina ne se aban we aye na dwen se emra pa ye friend emra de nya de o de be ye adwuma
ono aban na wo so.
Yes, lawlessness and state officials, public officers, any state institutions, Edi Yejuma under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Amamuowe. Obi nka se radio station bi Yejuma wo krum ha na obu mra so ana obu the conditions of the license so a emamra ni ni so what you say Ghana eyeya nkasa ohwekra NDC aban somewhere in 2008 MPP for before konwa so university so yebeto aso any year Electronic Communications Act 775 na OSA Act ni mu a section 72 clause 1E Emma NCA for to me say radio station be ebu conditions of the license so a emra enini na emra na enini di ni saying yema no yemoneka no ntua de friend pecuniary penalties
so lawyers abefia
o dia say enti wo hwe emra ni mu a mra shebedwafo ema NCA for sa to me ni say omutimi determine penalties a ubu o licenses nhyehyɛ so e wan ko renew no bre wo say we renew ne de keka ho a e ka yitimi de ball ma wutua so what you say ana Ghana has no be anim say yemra ye nyina no e hyemra pon bi ase eye yemra batan a ye fe no 1992 constitution e hyase na 1992 constitution ko re article 174 clause 2 a de e kire ne say Ghana ha wo ye state institution na emra bi ma okwan se utimi ye to na se sa to no ye wie na wo pese wo ye nsachira ye wu wo pese wo teso ana wo pese wo di bi ka ho a untimi nye sa de no agye se wo di akomra hye bedwam ama mra hye bedwafo agye peniansa. That is what Article 174 Clause 2 says. Enti mra Electronic Communications Act by ne de kaka na ho akonya se NCA4 eketi mi ye pa o me tie pa e de penalty si ba se wo book conditions of a license so a asotwe be na wose ye de ma e ka be na wose ye de bo eno na kofa de frɛ no LI 1991 e bae in the year 2011 NCA4 ye list of penalties and omode ko mrahye bedwam e ma mrahye bedwafo G2 e na be ye LI 1991 sa emra no mrahye bedwafo ye no in 2011 so what I say na ko LI ni mu ade wo mu ni say the radio station be bu the conditions of license so one renew abre also renew which is the case of most of these 132 radio stations na ye twem aso ya fine I will bet me fine no between 1,000 cedis to 2,000 cedis titisika ni mu no 10 million to 20 million sana LI 1991 aka ye no 2011 ye na no in 2015 ana NCA4 years omo person omo san sachira penalties ana omo koye a new schedule of penalties and omo move penalty no from 1,000 to 2,000 to 10,000 100 million yes ikadada ni no 100 million said that ba ko bia no default when renew license a ye bejo 100 million sikadada instead of 10 to 20 million that ba ko bia that ba ko what am I say now, in line with Article 174 Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution, now was our modest answer to no come rashe bedwam. Mam rashe bedwa for G2 and sana etinya be yemra. Just as they did in 2011, or mode LI 1981 come rashe bedwam man be yemra no. Now was our modest 100 million we so ye dey. Come rashe bedwam. Ye Mr. ye mame as lo usu ni NCA4 Penny Joseph Anoche say sa new penalties we are no mandatory radio for us no anye bia ko mrahye bedwamana. The answer is a big no. As a matter of fact, I have checked 2015 ye ne wa ban mu na sa penalties ne ye NCA4 ye the then minister for communication kra no ma mo na mane into one year ntu yes, and that is why I am come mrahye bedwam for approval. So it was gazetted, but it was not approved in line with Article 174 Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. And next, I also bet radio station because we're in Mraswa. Wow, also be any Mrasna Babetrin as now work with Timbrano, Edemra, Enimu, Emra, Eni Naswobia, and Adia Mrasebega for Nintum, Adia your own constitutional, Etia Ghana Mrapong, and our de Babetubiaso. Can you use lawlessness to enforce the law? Amabobeni. And when the rule of law, this is lawlessness. Because penalties no more use, have not been approved by Parliament into unconstitutional. Number one. Ebiameki. Share. Even a first year law student, and I will be an understanding of the constitutional law of this country, via Bekacho say. Adia Bakwa Ghana Mra, Ghana Yemra Batano Brapa, any idea lawyer for friend. Retroactive or retrospective application of law. And they say now what you tell me ye boni bi me ye adie bi na adie no na what you tell me na nya boni a na what you fufure ya yesi ni say obeye mra na wo yes adie no boni a wuntimi ntwema so because mra me yes adie no na nya boni mra na nya adwuma enti wuntumi apply law and back the tea what you say enkonkon criminalize adie a and I am punish at the time you see, you know, then you're punishable. So what's the point I mentioned? And to the young fan impose penalties for free or Modia Bay. I am Mamma will say, and Remude Nimu and Yamra about the infant and the infant castle. Say, I am Ra, the attorney say 2015, and as I knew penalties by 100 million per day. And the radio station, our form the license conditions, you know. From 2015, now betting you fine 100 million per day. Emremu di achire no no. Ultimate in 2012, 2013, 2010. And 10 years back. So obi from Emra no 10 years back. Emma me use mra penalty at about 2015 and konkotwe na so. Because at the time when Nipa Kono form, you know, now the penalty was 200 million. So what I say, this is basic. I'm trying to be very basic so that Obi Oti mi be abede ebete as an American say. But there na yenu anu MPP for ya here. Omaba, omo say radio stations omo bu omo conditions of omo license so as far back as 17 years, maybe 15 years, 10 years no. Omo the so-called penalties na yemra no. Ah ye no 2015 the kotwe omo so. And they are not say unconstitutional. Article 19.5, Article 19.6, Article 107B of the 1992 Constitution making it clear you cannot punish anybody retroactively. And it's hard to know no so essentiamra in pay lawlessness na make number 2. EBM share Electronic Communications Act of 2008 na. E kire kwan a NCA yama to me say utimi twi obi aso. Ba mara na san kire kwan a e wo so fa so etwe na so. And as a matter of fact na eke Emre bia e make provision for sanctions no. Sa provision no provisions of due process. Ye enimu krompa ye imply by necessary implication ye de kan ho. Say so obetwe obi aso a e wo say wo fa de friend due process so. E wo say obo nipa kro na man ye o man notice na man hu boni a waye. E wo say o man akwanya say boni na waye no. Oye de otimi remedy, otimi tua, otimi siesie. E wo say o man kwan ma say owo kwadu na wode abono no ho asem kan the friend objection ultimately raise your objections and then the friend the principle of natural justice you cannot judge a man on head ni nyina we Electronic Communications Act ye misa say ansana NCA for Yewura Joseph Anoche ne as Lewusu Minister of Honorable as Lewusu Minister for Communication e dey aso twin we bebre 132 radio stations omo ma radio stations since akonya nana the answer is a no. It is a modie mo ba se mo be se amanfo adwuma nyesa mo mamra nya adwuma enyesa ade a mo ye ipa no asie ne sen oh na ye say ohene to 20 e na retakrabo a onitiri ye tu mu fo say ade a mo ye na ni nyina so bia o mra mu nyae no o say mantie no o say na mo pe back door de adwane ye say o makwa akoka say na ade no kra no ya teso commercial radio station ya teso 50 massa you cannot put something on nothing ya catch us Lewusu you cannot put something on nothing. It will fall. Sadia ye unconstitutional. Bibi tie Ghana yemra batanya. A lawyer for friend no void ab initio. Null and void.
No correct.
It say ade no amamukrada it never existed. Na dia why any tie mra unconstitutional. Na twisan na ye de mra ne say ye na. We say ma bete so. What bete what? The unconstitutional penalties. The penalties that you have applied retroactively, I don't know what about
some of these or all these affected radio stations.
I am aware that some of the radio stations will not even pay this.
Is it because you almost stop them?
Your funny radio station be your backdating is 16 years radio good. Yes, so meet you first, and yes, and yes, so meet you 61 million. The cost that anymore. I don't know or him and pay better. And yes, 610 billion. In dollars, over $10 million. Radio Gold, for example, no. Say, 61 million Ghana cedis now. Now we divided by 10,000 a day fine now. We have 6,100 days. 6,100 days, no. I feel we are 365 days now. So divided by 365 days, we have 16.7. Into a more family with 16 years retroactive, no. Now 610 billion, no matter. Radio station, Ben, what Ghana ha. Despite radio stations in I'm
interested in
radio station be any obetimetua Ghana adwuma be any wa fan no $10 million obetimetua. So what you are doing in effect they say good radio station no you are telling them to shut down and that's 50% I was say the artist no the why you say we moving from 610 billion to 305 billion why they betimetua radio gold almost all major pade nyina and I'm not only talking about NDC radio stations so okay FM some must be calm bewa
me nim there
unim me ka kire o ye nim
okay
hello FM ma say na mo din kan listen no no ya na mo ba ye nim ni nyina hello FM na mo din kan listen no ya publishing ni nyina mo kada wo millions of cedis mo be
okay FM ba na be
are you saying say mo say sika na mo dikotua hoya o ti ase hwe Ghana ha aban ye say wo betim ba o twere no kraka o say ye wo enyema bebre ho kwan so enye ni nyina ne fatae so what you say Ghana abusuo kan for omo also mutua to baba ne say ye hwe modwuma na mo ye ne hu hia mo man we mo bre eto no was say ye mmara say ye but yate so enti se nka anye bia aban we dwen nsɛmtwerɛfoɔ radio stations wɔn sɛ madwuma a moyɛ no ɛho yɛn ho wɔn mfasoɔ ɛboa Ghana deɛ nti na aban kɔ ntimi nti fees no so aban te so ana ayɛ deɛ mo pesika kɔyɛ mo pesika kɔtuatu allowances ne nyama
aban no so wɔn te so
what point am sure na say so you want to at all costs say o de kaba betu obi so na wo di good nipa no koro no adwuma sa 132 radio stations say ebu a uni Ghana pon ko be lose o madwuma na uni be S3 wo mu kra it doesn't even say the same previous it doesn't even make sense pre ege what fani obi 305 billion and the new one
eke but what baby free ba
wo di nipa kro no
asem na se no no
wo si nipa kro no ontimi ntwese nipa kro no nya de obetimi tua nti obetum onya eduma na nipa na ewo ho ni nyina no mu lose o madwuma ege oni asrese me wo sa oje license ni we na wo ton the spectrum license na oni se na obisi aton no beton 30,000 cedis 300 million enti sebi previous so commonsensically aden na won 300 billion no so ma no ebia wonye no 1 million bi
no
na wonye sika se sika propo na wo pa akwa free SHS a ene mo wa kire na mo
baby o chaba de aba
oh na mama ti a wo kase wa kase amanfo tue sika wo ya ye be sika yo putuma so you want to use is it most person more milk you can say radio stations na mo san sika unjustifiably because you are in desperate need of money. That is the point I'm making here. And sika na nya don't wait me you are collapsing them na me anya me wan opanyin na yede na kwotena NC was on ko NC boss no ono emra kwesi prat ne kwaku ba ko mo for press freedom no ni Ghana ono ya wona brochire ni atete na brochire a edi tama ye ko for press freedom kwaku ba ko na na do dan kwaku for adom obren no ni wa mere bi wan ku bi enti no shepe wa ba betra o shepe na che se o enforce law blindly masa ade na nyemra say emra kwa na you apply the law commonsensically tax expert ya be catch say even when you are imposing tax
the
ability of the what taxing to pay is key. So to say you don't impose something it cannot be met na why I then unya hwe krompo and as I punish you so the functions of punishment, the purpose of punishment. Yam punish you be say ya dey say na juma. Who they say juma mama for lose so juma just like that. O ba ye wo meye bibia amwa ho. Radio stations bre wo krom ha. Masa enye easy. Radio station ben they making 100 million a day. Na wa ba be fa pepe bia ya bre so ye yeto wo krom pa ye minister mponyi ntumu enkomra hye bedwam say eno na de be ye juma chichi sika akwakwa ye de wo ye no. Enti entwe ye. Na they cannot put something on nothing. Santete so ne sa danko dada de ntrikese no moye no munyai masa. Ye mama asle wuso we de ntwa yie. Eno ane say na birthday mama honorable happy belated birthday. Ne mum dwene ahantan na ya doso. Mama ko mrahye bedwam na wotwe we pa akokaka sa asem we behwe brofo akese. Kase twie abuti abo.
Obi ka brofo. Obi ka brofo.
And I preposterous. And I made them run me the bay or die trying. Also, be who cry on who be one than so.
Some your poor money.
Yes, you're too full away here. Who copy and tear it. And now you're baby. So the point I want to make here and say the penalties are unconstitutional. The application is retroactive and therefore unconstitutional. The enforcement of their so-called Electronic Communication Act, they didn't follow due process. Fees no you have Z, Massa, Ghana. Ye wo mra bebri wo ho a e wo oman wo mu ye mra wo enso ye nim se ye de ye adwuma be ha Ghana fo ntimi ye fa nya adwuma unim se ye wo mra wo Ghana ha ye friend Rupa so unim Rupa mra che bedwafo a ye se Ghana ko wa ma no ne moto aba mra ne de ye adwuma se ye mra enya mra bia in our criminal statute the death penalty is in our criminal statute unim sa as a president Bianca in our fourth republic I didn't know mon sign. Nyama bebre wa won kwan bet emfataw at a particular stage. Adolf Hitler one ne Nazi party omukuku Jewfo ne bone omudi ni wiase ye nyina no omadwuma omo ye na mra ta akiri. Apartheid the course was South Africa na ye mra bi no. So to the metro na say PDA we mu kaseti ankroma so de ba enye one party system na ye mra she be dwafo na jitu. Enya mra bia na ye kata ga ni blind ye enforce on anyhow at any given time. It we anya mra be ye mra kwa what we are telling you say dem ye na mo say amanfo nyuma mo wo bibi a mo free radio stations na mo ne o maintenance na mo nka say we are clearing the slate because the NCF one at now 17 years 15 years I are ha ma we akoso If you neko, masa wa wodi kabia betua. But from this time, one ya, you be use the correct penalties. Say 100 million na pesa woja fa come na she bebem. Mo na mo do so wo say mo jitu ma fine na Ghana for mu. The kind of people you are. But don't mean create wow penalties for what them. Now one from mama me adwuma. What you are doing is lawlessness na munyai. Okay. Me na maka no say we na ma menko Ghana Post GPS. Me no ohun bi. Onya bi wo phone so.
Me try me you code bi ni.
Hwe. Okay. If you say many fi wo Ghana ha. Me hu ade a eye krono.
Also krono.
Eye dream. Eye katasehye. Eye proye chance ade we da. Na me hu ade a eso nimfa so chance ade we a MPP4 akwa. We dey muso na Dr. Bawumi akofa abafie.
You say which room?
Okay.
Also muso
na Dr. Bawumi krono na ewo mu no. We are ma kire ho ehu hia no. Me kire. So we create loot and share.
Okay.
Me kire. Hwe. Sa Ghana Post GPS ya ba ye ka ho asemi. Ebi na wo me phone so yi. Ma download bi. Ebi ni.
Bo hu fie kwan. So hu.
Ebi ni. Eye app e wo ho dada. Ye friend no Asase GPS. A company Ghanaian company ye friend no Vocacom. De ye ne dia no de na no say kwesi FIFA or MPP ni mapa. Ono na yes Asase GPS no. Some months ago Asase GPS no so person hu a eno so ebi ni. Masa ensonson ya e wo Asase GPS mu. Ene sa Ghana Post GPS we no e color. The only difference no ba ko ye orange and green ti say we and about blue and white MPP colors. Akwano or your IT person that do. And a month ago on we develop on the app your friend Asase GPS. And a guy in Nibia who use Android. Now call Google Play Store. Who use Apple. Now call App Store. Who me download do be free bone to untiaka preba. E free. The ebeje why your data charges when you use the app. I yourself na baby who me download do Asase GPS ni bi. Na akwana hu se na aban aba power na hu se Bawumi amo person mo ya address system o ja se na do mo so bi se o manyi no mo ntenye ma we ase e na wasesa
we are president
no na me chere wase na mo ti ase akomba yi they have been defrauded and I'm telling them today they said they have been defrauded by the guy e na akwana kwa fa Asase GPS na wa ye ne dada man for download over me wo so bi over 10,000 Ghanaians wo so dada no e ya Asase GPS no Wakwa and wasesa color ne pe wan fa bibia nka we nyi bibia mfi. Everything is the same. I have it here. Everything word for word. Everything. And na wabeton ama Ghana buying 150 billion. Okay, asem what been paying them da.
150 billion.
150 billion cedis. Sikada da ni me 15 million Ghana cedis, $2.5 million. We enye we na NDC start here no. Make sure the NDC start here no. We ye krono eye den na app me say see ko app store your producers are watching me ko download Asase GPS na download Ghana Post GPS tell me the difference Asase GPS have been there for months enti ade na no akwakofa petimamento e no dia be dada Ghana phone penyifo no ato amai hwe fa ne say wo akura bi ase na mo cinema hall kromati mi ko okwe sini free bonto mu ntua kapreba na kromo DC say ma famoto musika 150 billion sa cinema no obi asi acha ye kwa na obi atimi use ni free no me ko todo 150 billion na ma san kwa hwesi ni free asem what be that eti kro no edi kan no there is nothing new about it there is nothing proprietary about it sa app we me o ma me 5,000 cedis ko amini mo bi obi tima ye bi acha e no de abeje 150 billion na yemfa eno nto nchen de to so mienu e ma we ye kro no kra ne say ade we o mo say Ghana Post address system ba wo mia behwe numdwa ade na ye no kra no ebi ni Ghana ha ba bia ebi ni wiase afa na nyina ba bia landing kra ebi ni ho US kra ebi ni ho e unique enti ni efiri say ba ba ya ade wonwaso obi masa wunim say no am yonko bi wo Nigeria e na me say ade we ye fake test wo Nigeria me I will show you obi wo Nigeria use Ghana Post I register na address nyina wo so I will show you the pictures nyina Ghana Post e ye adwuma wo Nigeria e de na Ghana for ye de to ekoto app any system na Nigeria ni otene mamu Nigeria timi use bi ade ECOWAS EU Father Christmas. The reason is that there is nothing new about the app. enti wiase fa na baby awo bia wutimi yusu e ade e wo dada de to so biem there is nothing innovative US for satellites they will ma a capture we are seeing now longitudes and latitudes your coordinates nyina Google for aya no na friend Google map no na wo say person ko baby Jennifer o call WhatsApp I send the current location am obi no follow Google map no de aba obi fa Uber o use Google map obi afa bi free bonto no yes map na sa kwesi afifei o use bibi anka ho and why app a gateway to the map that is all on fair bibi anka ho yes say yeah, they will be registered address. I'm a banks are used. I'm telling the banks if they try this, their banks will collapse in the day. Who says CSM me PA Bejamo die with him. Now me register say hi me jina. Who them in Yeduma number 1. I just would PA Kujina Bonte. Mimi will be and I make come a issue. Who Kujina Bonte so now me said die way a media address in here. I be register my media no verification. Because it uses GPS, geographical positional system. It is interested in positions, not information. Unlike GIS, a geographical information system, nipa ba wo fie be gi wo data. O ka se wo address ni a ye be bisa light bill, water bill ni ahwe say yampa e dia verify no way ntesa. O pass se e bo address bi keke bo JK dey na fa she me be register wo address no no. Eti bank bi pe AK address no ko bo a. Sa fake address in beba. It doesn't do any correction, no verification, nothing. One modern address system ayaya e use street name. Uko US UK omu use modern address and use street name. And this bind that boka set street name secretariat ya street name wo Ghana ha. Address we use street.
There's a nyamu de NPP to us.
No. Ebiem.
And I'm per credit.
Debi me per credit. I'm explaining it to you. One app and I will download terms and conditions screening. When the app will be download ranti wa. It is terms and conditions because do you accept or do you agree to the terms? And no confidentiality rules so the information cause what and there is nothing like that. It way both fruit apple. What that I also that the crump just 10,000 people. And obi akwa se the color. Before a doctor for do a doctor bawomia o kofa bibia brega na fo a sa pentima minto we ye app ade we e app we ade we am be 5,000 ko betima ye biama what the 150 billion enye sika keto 150 billion okay so what chema Ghana for him the Ghana ni bia benya na mo de aye so the thing is fraudulent e ade e wo hodada on say copyright ade we aye kan say obi a developer app ama ye say Ghana for but app we am ama mo de betimi register addresses ni bibia e peculiar to Ghana it ma ton copyright na mo exclusively e no na woto a sa na se kirete na ade e wo ho a obi wo Kosovo obi wo Shanghai obi wo Canada obi wo Nigeria alatamamu a obetimi download bi ni wo use ni free ye ko to 150 billion for it man ye ade a masa wo dem kra nya adwuma direct here say wutimi dey drive ni dey keka ya Google map aye we eye dada masa me boa eye dada ye my current location eye dada it dey ade pa na mo dey aba address am say ye store no wo mu address you born wrong kra hu uni say ye tifie ye nipa 5 ma ye bi wo mi fie ye ye tifie ni nyina ye different addresses na ya dey na register different addresses who betimi no yere krompo mo dada ba kum kra use different address e be register. I'm telling you I can give you my phone un download you any buy me nua buy bo bibia hye wo ebeba so we ye kro no ni say ye to masa me ade a me pese me ka kire abrante ne say
abrante be
eye opanyi no na o say kwesi afifa no hwe se sika no waje no ni ya ma ne mfa ne sanka
ade mboka koji
oh we den obefia ba na say we willfully causing financial loss to the state kono pa masa so free say Ghana ye nyina ye ti bonkoso ye nyina ye tintinto a obetima be boy krono de oboa and the Bawomia no de be that domo say the party aba into okofa this cheap app wo dada on my copyright bia every nation a lot of one dey use because say we are metro Nigeria near we register bi Ghana Post Nigerian address unim into don't defend the indefensible ko research and say na we defend it so to the metro na say na wa ba beji 150 billion adwuma ba na waye masa ade we ade ato we masa fa we na fa compare Google map e wo phones na say difference bi wo ma nothing so again no it shows a certain level of sa katasehye ne proye na ye ka ho asem no oh na wa Ghana mpenyinfo sa Ghana man penyin Ghana ye man penyin dada man penyin Rollins mpenyinfo a dress kama ba betena hia di ase na wo akoraketoa wo fa kwati kwan so kana sichi kwan so bu omo South Africa damwe I don't know his age but he's younger than them. It is not fair, it is insincere and we will expose him. Master, sadie way baby ebeko because untimi meton up way more might be 150 billion, $2.5 million. What have you done? There na why you know so. All IT personnel around the world are condemning this. Even features in the modern IT apps, modern standards also they don't even meet it. Mr. American was a debe chenwa. Na unim bibi, me de manusi no. Unim se Ghana ha nyina. According to NCA data, nipa use smartphones on betimi a download app we. Omo 21% of our population. 21%.
Just 21%.
Yes. And use smartphone. And say who use phone, but uvo no ye phone bia entimi download this app we ha untimi nya so so. Unim di MPP aban say obeko post office. Na obi wo post office o we di we chi di wa ko fie. Ono wo smartphone wa kwaya ma. Na nipa dodo se nkwa ye betimi I employ omo. Ewo post office no mote obi aba na ye di we chi akofie. Even the system is wrong. Ye the NDC aban ye ne say e di kan ye street name. Enemu ye street name because modern address system we ase bia no it functions with street naming. The atoso biem ye boa Zoom Lion enye aban ye aban amfa ni taku aban amfa ni sempu anka ho. Zoom Lion ankasa ne fan sika. And almost started a GIS system, not GPS.
Transport group.
Yes. Say, omo employ national service personnel so mutu omo kan kra be trend wo fia no maba. Maybe omo ba me fie. Ni abeju din wa address ya jo water bill, light bill ya confirm.
How many years?
Ah no mo di omo sika ye no free bone to Ghana ban ye kapre ni ye takuni.
Yeah, babe.
Eno na se wo ba na wo so person be address system aden ye say ye no na wasa wo beto aso. Ye digital center. Millions of dollars. Almost ya anya hwe incompetent. Beboa. Ye breast no ye Data Protection Act by. Ni nyina o mahu anka. Wa ba na wo baba be ye bibia. 419 ade we ya. Ya me kra me sami jemfi amete me wo bi wo mi phone so free as GPS. Obi akopenti ni white. Just mu MPP colors na mu de nika makoto 150 billion. Na wo akoto mpo a mo nto de mo ma nya peculiar to Ghana. Ka branch no ko ye ni papa. Nko ye Ghana po GPS we na no. Ka you should have put asase GPS down. Master say what's asase GPS na. Emre wa down say the interface and Ghana GPS are the same. O cameraman bit me aba be pick no ya hwefo nyina ahu. Everything is the same, word for word. After so no, say Ghana for yama 150 billion there. Make it peculiar to only Ghanaians. Ni who say yes we have the copyright. Ade na Ghana nkwa na ye adwuma. E de na obi oti alata man mu nyina timi yusu bi. After so no, say the baba be proper address system banks and financial institutions betting ya rely on it. Then there should be a certain level of verification of information. No be ankwa for obi ajapade say ho na mete address. After kwa na man for the baba that man for. There is nothing like that. After so say Google map na who use the idea ya will be that the way your phone so no you use your fa Uber no you use. Hey, o buy UTV na unim ha, o betimi akwa use. Obi u ofie no bi person ba betimi send o current location man no. E no de beju obi 150 billion. Aba. E say the crown na ya doso. Enti mestre, say mpanyimfo nya ntua abrante ne car. Mo ntua because we will be go prison for financial loss to the state.
Okay.
So akwa no so ye twesika na so amane dia. Mani ni because massa odi a ye dan ya obe fiaba.
Sami Jemfi.
And before wait there any more you should not be laughing.
Why should I cry over this? Why should I be worried about this?
That your government Dr. Bawumia amabona sa nanado kasa no wabona baso Dr. Bawumia hard work in any Dr. Bawo mo party mu nyina tumu fo mu ntia na Dr. Bawumia oh and they wakofa ba and they Ghana GPS 150 billion for one now fraudulent adewe na makofa ba. Okay, mama can message na fe Jennifer Bram.
Tell me.
Jennifer Bram so Kwame did some it is a very serious matter. E Ghana sika o 150 billion.
Oh, can message you.
Yeah, tell my Ghana for him dey obi abenya.
I say did Sami Jemfi talk about lawlessness within the Nanado's leadership? Hey, Radina Kopon. Do I need to remind him of the issue of these two Gitmo 2 and how the simple parliamentary procedure that should cement their stay was flouted with impunity? But this kind of hypocritical comments must be disregarded. Kabi from Second Deep. Well, I'm not giving him the whole show. Good morning, Kwame. Could you ask the NDC man, Sammy Mpacho, could you ask the NDC man that whether or not their Radio Gold has not been paying their license or not? If they have not been paying, then the NDC do not deserve to rule this country again. Emma from Soutum. Billy Bones from Afon Quantao said the NDC man should always. Isaac from Second D was we thank the NADO for making Ghana work again. NDC will be in opposition for a very, very, very long time. Okay, let me finish with this and then Jennifer.
Nigeria Nina me say we register no. Joma residence. Gwarengwa Abuja Nigeria. Ghana Post app.
Bibia possible.
Enya
phone now there.
Oh, there be it's Nigeria. This is the app. Look at it. Now app no kwa who be phone.
Mama nkasa some no ye enuamo. App no ni. Jai me say a lot of 4 year enuamo mama nkasa. Where phone now there. So that any na ye brɛ. Today come to here.
Me be say app no hu da.
Tie come akoma to here.
Aya hu ye wudi wachi.
Oh, me do wachi. Me kyerɛ say me a wo sit here with you. Now can just be to Nigeria.
Camera na pick here.
Wo me nim dey to person pick.
Okay, also me use. He wants camera to.
Me, I will not sit on the show and accept to tell Atana so won't be in Nigeria or Nigeria. I remember reserving me comment on certain things. What you say? No.
You will get to the technicians who are involved in this one, and then they come
and the same app.
The same app.
Case
to make your case rich, you know, what of you want me to accept it? Say, Nigeria.
Don't defend the indefensible. Give
me my time. Dr. Patrick Tando, Gimpa, and School of Public Administration. But you yes, I want to be made more because meeting the I'm chill. Now, I said, why feel so I'm telling you, and to me, of mammy, on a bomb life. I wouldn't. Samia can send be. May you know, time no more. I
because we have
two topics.
We started with this dictator address system. Now they want to me, not me for baby diaba. But in some Samia Traka, in the end, no person just say there's huge corruption in this and cophobia away. Also, Motia. And that's something I can't wait. So, also, all Casanoon was your moon acknowledgement. On fine tree, but I'm going for claim. Say, yeah, more Mabas woman starting here. Wouldn't you talk about the system? Please. Wouldn't you tell mind to me and Yamama Drubel? No lacking your mammy and son. Vision, competence, and the present corruption. Vision, yes, and this one, you want to buy a bedroom baby. And that's something wants me to accept me. But
what are you talking about?
Please, Mammy, come as a moment. You don't side with me, we are then you take up. What you see any campaign mood? I understand the opposition must start in term. We understand because 30 years on Babanemu. What would you? As some way I walk or come so like in your mammy and son. They didn't have the vision. And even said me, Minya vision, Minya Niswadi, who made trouble say that I have one opposition to Yamfa. Competence, let's say, and a friend say, a modern one, I say, Adia, who Nimdia, it wasn't there. The corruption aspect, and I said, they rather. Thought of scan never call bottom and for some benya wom ya di be better so samiti aka so be at 150 billion which Ghana for kra anymore no na eka yet chroma says 51 point something billion their many power akopɛ in their name ya wahan ya di adoma 2 and you should bodon come me Mr. businessman contractors I so photon on wakasa ni ra on obo okujo to ablakwa mo mesin kwaje musika Ghana for the muka. But what must Kwame if that is the case sasam worker yet ya ne kofa gitmo 2 mi see any campaign mood majai Sanya wo nyina jai dada. Omo da form team mintimi na omo so form ho. But yet ya na all ka parliament say was say the parliament can see asam no. Yet ya na kofa gitimo tu de omo fa kire obai. Crofo keka say na ska bi were involved. Ne sa anyama no mu defend yes abepem na ye no omo na ti promo a. Meanwhile out interviews no bi ya na ye bo Osama bin Laden man say say ya bomb, ya ammunitions ni ade. Mo twa ya no wo krom ha sa so omo ntinam. What ya say omo ti krom ha ya de omo akota kwade ya de omo ti ha. Man respect Ghana for man mu the rule of law na what ya wo ka no. What did get to be ram? That's the fishing. The competence level do baby or the you see at the mention of Dr. Baumia's name. me patcho na run stomach akankofo bi me say ade anche ene ye week be jai e wie friends campaign me nya campaign sisi
okay yanko CID na
it is sa work sa nyama mi ensa wa no mu ni nti na mo say nti afa de the reason why they deserve credit ne acknowledgement. That's not what I'm saying, but tie someone can wahana vision ni so ade no they don't understand it and no dia bia ba say with phone Nigeria for me to accept it say obi to Nigeria ya me nyintum ne Ghana for nyintum o ntie wasama woka ma me bra efetensi asem no ke so otonfo same ya something me so bia nya tribal ade na me kan to come see amete o say NC ade no and na scan o senk ya je na 300 million all can na be baby o kan for na pese pi o mo no numba cause nkomo na yesa na yede wo kan nyina na o kan mo radio station muntie ni radio go. How many years my Radio Gold has been in existence? How many years? So many years.
Almost 17 years.
Fantastic. So they fall within a car. So when some person about dragaman about do say, I don't know what you friends say. Scan also much you see. What you person casa correctia and see boss I don't know say you won America, not American Unimshe, and another more and I won't say from a so
you see a Brenunia, one baby.
Yeah, Brenu has a fact.
When the fight for press freedom,
the difference between MPP and NDCs. Yes, I didn't pack yet specialized way. We have it. They also have people on Bayon Chedi, only for post. Ya bought tintitim hona na ya cheska na ya jeje coins na ya chesa me jodi ko Jennifer jodi ko Kwame jodi ko no bia ko na ya chedi. That was the state and Ghana for your womb within 8 years. Professor Mills wanyan baby ko radin fani sie ye any Rajon Dramani mama ya ti kroma first lady adwuma be no wanya I don't want to say me say any campaign team person me ko baby so me say won ti me
want to discuss the topics.
Excuse me Sammy so won ti asem na ye kana se ha me te ha ubetimi abisa me na ma kire wo. But don't try to rubbish. You see, some of us we are ready to embrace Hanyama way now. Because in himself, the Papa near Ghana for you will fight. You will definitely fight against this. Against it. Sorry. Move back home and yes say. But one thing I trust Ghana for, and I respect you more for this. What's the graphic way? You are trying to daily guide. I'm Paukoto in a daily guide. Also, Beman in so man and I'm part of the Sora. Fertilizers, yes, see, 50% and free. So, yeah, excuse me. Fertilizers, the buyer near the good address, near Cum for the power to Sammy. Let us be grateful to Nana Donena Pump for Dr. Baumia didn't even see what I probably blackamo. I understand, meaning Crophobia. But send the Panaya, dear Samia Yano, Yamuna Basunia for winning opposition trading, most 30 years a big woman. But now, rubbish, dear way, give yourself some time. So, also, on Tiasia, just give yourself some time, sir. Ubetias, your bones a bit because, hey, I decided you're on for maybe year program within the week. Or my dear, then two problem, Yana said, we did not acknowledge them. But someone it means you are rubbish in it. It means, once the vision, competence, and the corruption aspect, and a woman into a carry. Because can on the battle show me to say I'm another 4 years where I am quite a account on account. What try? I think I'm a baby, my son phone to me, baby.
Okay, young CID 4 years.
What you say? CID 4 years so. My main customer coming drew master my when your family has some. Unso nua ba me yoba wo ken so akai me nkrofo no makai nkrofo bi nso so kwa me wate ase nim se kwaye dada wuti eduru ma ensam so a na meni age kakra because eduru emre bi atwam na on se ma yeni anu odi a na kitchen wo ye say ene ye wie ebre kakra ho no ye se beto ye dike ye friend say ya dinim so ate ase ye disua so me adisua so wo baba me ye bibia possible say me ba ne begina baabi enu nya se woni be ma be ya no baba ye obeyi we dey politics ne ye so ate ase oba benya baabi agina hwe wo kan no maka kwakosi say same boa no minim so mo be kan wo kan no ma ye se maame no na corruption issue A+ nsensem na maame no ni kwase de ma no me power cho mani nse obi bia das ma me be kan kwa me esrameka ye nua be ma justice wo se mo haya na begina ye late news ata ni twa no side ha fire them, shoot them, rubber bullet cane. Uni aba mechi marks na da ho me na ni bonkum we da ho ya pa me ha 4. You see a year call for new register. Ya to aba Ghana for ye beat him 1.5 million. You see a year call for new register. Ye nye ye book ye de kwa trap ye friends ye de kwa to aba no foforo. Fire them, shoot them. Ye say mo fa fariko down mo fa ha. Me a part of the convenience. Na me ka ho ye die ni mu ye. What we went through that day. wie ya na wotwe asam ni si da bempo say ni wukwada ya wade fiada me nda kwasi ada dwada ke IGP post ye de amani papa hin me tie papa no so ya asode ana ya asobrachi a emra ne ubedi tia ne be da ye betia o tia betia no so obi lose nani justice ajakuma unu abahwem nsan ho hwemachi me na kasa ti ewura friends say
issue na little jande
me ka ba be sia sam so
your time
odi onyaye wonya aba be ya IGP okọ no ba munya sem bia nka wanya bibia mo asem nya mo no kro no ye nyina nim say A+ issues ni ade me I don't want to talk about e ba nyina me nka ho asem A+ ni
that is what people are saying Tenka you shouldn't have been given the position
now odi yan fine no so yan ka say ye no so me nka say yin to nchen ye fa no nyina wo sese no mamu a na ma me no onye due for the position na sana nka ntimi fama na act na nka wontimi she can't act as a princess CID boss no wontimi said the rabbi to draw ATM so be na me yi no any time aso ya ma no contract ya extend the contract ama no ATM no ma me no yemfa A+ asam ni nyina nchen sese na mamu a na ma me no wasn't due for the post
we free musari
enye yi enti na me ka say ensam no basa na de bire bi ba beto na be duru say ye de ya ye de be ba be wuro why oba no ye be me na konya na ye adwuma me ye sure say nsensem ye twam ye gya kire die kura ye ya amanyosem ne ade nka ye national issue but ye amanyosem ne ade ne ye ne ye amanyofo etie e de ba be wuram omo problem nyina na say enne no me ni me yem de so amfa no amam say ma me ne say name ye Akufuado you can imagine me di ofori ape nti won say PC appeal ofori me de ni ofori ape won say appeal ofori nti me na na no me ba to me na na no
ntimi fan relate we dankwa
omo dankwa no kwa so spellings ni different iti no better de naka say wo dia ya say no omo major issue omo wie omo say ma me no efua corruption so e na tape no kwa mo anso mo nim say ade mu wie ye whichever way amunya ye no mo doctor tape yi
and I say it's not been established until no timi nkasa
fantastic but sa na ya kaka no what you say so ma me time I do say we say the man no obey adwuma no obey am na ye yi a me de Ghana any your corruption system Ghana a friends a crime rate e ko for ma o man ni mu adwo no hwe ma me nkasa me ma mutiri mu eden da bi mu kan ye ho ne ye bibia ye so ye ka mu na ye yi na mo ba wa abadaye no ntina da bia na mbeta na mka kire mo say se ye tikuo kura sikasam ene ade de hye mansa ko obedi ade ye mbehye ne wo ba wo nyama wunti ye mfa ye de dwuma de bi mu oba bia ye mo na paso me kai say some 4 years ago 2013 ye ko rescue nkwala bi kai sa issue no nte no wa wo ko rescue akwala bi anana o ye later didi atampoto e na akwala nkwa mini ba bi onana mini akwala ne kira kwan bi enso so no edu ba bi issues be ba because no yo ba nti no me hwe ne feminine aspect as a ba nya feminist I'm not a feminist but me hwe ba bi ana e ko no ba na me hwe na adwuma no betimi aye eduru ba bi kro ye ne se ne ehunu ade na ni so papa no na o hwe ne be boa apart from so okọ appending signature say yenyi mu ntie 3 mo mra na mo sa meka wudi sam enwu nipa so no oba nya adwuma so wo ya ane ye didi brebi mo oba yesre ehu dede ne dos sa na mtie pagya bibi ma me asame tu ba kasa tia me anam bisa so oba bo nua ba yam
Same
let us all be mindful of what we do Mr.
Yankomodie na ye dia no ehu hia pa o eke
papa tina me kan sam ehia no
penyufo tie enkoda tie ni pe fam wa ba
okre
enti ehu be hia se ye be factual ye be ma no kre e de anim kan sem bebra me nua ba na ka no say diversion topics na ye ato na nya ho asem na wo ka
so what you
me me follow ade ba ko pa ba ka say
NDC kasa straightforward
ya ma obi a fertilizer kwani bi a fertilizer e say ne no ba ye
mo microphone na etie mu mo de bi kokodi bua na nya
so what is a fact ne say na ye check fertilizer ma kokko akua for free buntu no muntu akaba na ye free distribution of fertilizers this is a fact
region bay
MPP abreso and a fertilizer
region bay
oh please Mr. Waka
no, so I want to know the region
but factual they know be some questions
and be some so kan sa no kwa me onya nto otra no ye can we come from
I just say question of the region no who be ya hwefo wanwa because everybody knows say free distribution of fertilizer e ade ayaye no NDC
and propaganda
mo kra ma magia tumbet mo de no mo say na enye obi a na nya bintine say mo beton e na mo ton fertilizer ye di kokko akuafo sika nkasa na ato no masan so ton ama kokko akuafo itega na
bi odi akojina se ma da
ye MPP aban ene o ma yare han ama mo wa ye from army works awe akuafo no ba ye nyina no ma te Ghana sika 15.6 million Ghana cedis 156 billion
so mo generate army works
no aba beku army works
ye generate army works
o ntimi nku army works
enti
emeka akuafo asem wa mo planting for food and jobs amoye we and army works awe ni nyina no Nti no de me so enfa wo
Nam chesa na the hotel where you start
Can
you imagine?
And clearly, all the things I said about NCA, say anya parliamentary approval, so application of the law, near retroactive, she couldn't respond because clearly, Ebia Unisa facts. What I say, Ghana Post, as my one Gaza wouldn't be with phones.
I've gotten myself a phone.
So what are you arguing about? You don't have the facts. We are users of the two apps. I am on Assassin GPS. I'm telling you something. Just say you too move crowd munti. Monkoso na monye de moyen. On you can say CID the boss no. Na etiwa adodankwa. Hwe ebiem this appointment and a chere katasese ne proya ye ka ho asem se eye na nado dankwa kufuado so ka se obeku atia katasese ne proya na ye na no fafa kwa. It is nothing but a mere political rhetoric because katasese ne proya ekoso wona abamu ono a na ehye na aban penyufu kutupa ono a so na esan Nanado is rewarding corrupt officials of his government.
What?
Yes, because enyasa Kamami ya ne wansem ba ye kra ye nka nwie ono ye nware ne ma ne hu fie ye timi san bo na baso obi a ya te ne wo tape so loud and clear express nyina ba bontia be hu se ma mere ye ne ne ono waso ni A+ di komo
express one mo free
so ti ase no a ka kire A+ obi a na asem akwa police fo ho efa aban we chief of staffs mienu a je say o ma ye kana na o ma fa kana na kwan so ne kana sichi kwan bi so de katasese ne pro ye di Ghana fo na wo police ni ba ya se hwehwemu a wa frɛ A+ and they say unim se nkrofo no mo your party for nti ye pe kwan papa bi so concealment of crime is a crime
possible mam so bet
now assembly ba bonte ne de MPP for catch and say a police wo hwehwem e kenya sa no mo kan na se police ni investigate obi for crime ye investigate no de ye hwehwem say tape near doctor danye ye san so many pakro no push there is a precedent to emra obekaya ACP Kofi Boachi the tape was by in relation to Tagore near Basmo cooking case and the a police force starting investigation na yamane kotenefi ye wie ya ka say no so no buy. That is how the police service work. MPP aban we ababa besesa system they say maami we dey nam so no ya do dan kwa ofi na do dan kwa kufu ado abusuo na ware no na dem bi na ka minu aba say e ni din keke onim de area no de aba beto abonten say o ware
related to the president
na masa o ko ware abusuo bi
it's not related to the president
abusuo bi mu a wonya abusuani
masa
family and friends and finance minister na do dan kwa kufu ado cousin Kenufuriata minister for transport minister for road and highways
na first lady
cousin
na first lady obi post
Nanado in fact
time no na first lady onu kwa na
ne yere ko odi kan ware ne first ne wo ne baba akra wa man push.
Can you imagine
what check post and maka positions in over 30 ni nuanom nko a so what we are saying here ne say asemi ba bonta nya ndisi for na kan say ye kra na yetumufu na muntia Ghana Integrity Initiatives we omo wo international repute e wo katasese de for ye wasem etumufu sa de ama ye ntwe yi mo say ye de ye nti obia ma me no ne ho bon katasese ne pro ye mu kra ye be bon abaso ma me no so me tunifo if ono ankasa ye mindful of the credibility and integrity oba akotran chen ama investigations na police for ye na akoso ama ya say
ono anka would you have taken such a
can you imagine
massa US and any advanced democracy bi akasa ama ni tape ne ba no contra one day
nyama ba na manya
ni tape ne ba bonte no impanyufo bi se Mali kwaku ba ko mo mutu na nado dan kwaku fu adofu nyina ka se ma no ni ka
ko se ba be wram
na wiye o dia se and this woman is still there investigation uni bientia because papa na no your investigation say the CID boss no mapam no ono na hwe se no kre ne be ba bonten but mami we so no ya pencil na to was a post we ono na ebedi ono na fighting for Akufo-Addo interest e police service mu apia stadium ma ye ko chi ni fikuma say sa mami we ne ma ye ko chi
apia stadium ye ni
o de me sure na say e ono na ye MPP for dirty work mom in the police service
apia stadium na do atam na ye no it means putting up plan na ye no kra
no I am showing you say or a police woman in the police force ono na ye MPP for dirty jobs and that is why they are protecting
the rest of our ministry was a dirty job.
Yes.
What made it dirty?
Na a police for nankasa ne chain no dem bi no wati biem. Omo so mama ni bi o ma friend biem. Enye dirty akomo friend. No mo nyina so omo de chain na why hasn't he been prosecuted?
Omo nyina so.
I didn't know your friend biem. President be without any charge. I went to the police station.
And you take it to
there was no charge.
Like
they changed charges from 1 to 5.
What was one of the charges?
One day. Back where you say rioting. Back when we almost incite the public. Back when we almost were accused of president of narcotics. They didn't even know what they were about. So they don't know what they are talking about. Now, it is feeding into Katasha Proya.
Very few people can when this mono at the appear stadium Trasco Dimon Peniatum. Me, I criticize the right by I never saw Onyan to was and I'm disappointed in you people. Are you not shouting?
If you want to just shout,
oh, you can shout. No, you're also shouting as well.
As I'm American, say, any men can make any discipline.
You don't even use it as
corruption. And yes, I will Ghana Henna. I speak against my men appointments. Mamma don't want some maba. I yes, she plano. He ain't she moon, Diane Saint, and Sunday Abonabaso. No be no one some maba. Also so boneso, or for boneso, or ye catasumu, so ye money.
That is why I come here. Get you two buy, no. What's the what are you talking about, Sammy? Diana, something okay.
Emra judgment in the Babontina, I am because that was what I was expecting.
So you should be disappointed.
Because Mampeni and Casaso in the office. I a boo police, not an ordinary citizen. Police in your friend the DSP Nanka Bruce. Invisible forces for bone for Passa. Say Anton.
Justice Ajakumani too, your police. Justice Ajakumani too, you're a Gabio Chadakuni Tribu.
I think you cannot allow her to go
right. No, I just want to remind you of such a time. If you want to make where I was that's my style.
So allow me. Are you intimidated by what I'm saying?
I'm not me. I'm not. Also making reference to the competition.
You see,
You are shouting. I was Jennifer Queen, Jennifer, please. Sam is okay. Jennifer Queen, Ekasa Emma NPP. Anna Sami Jemfi, so Ekasa Emma NDC. Isaac Raymond Osai Blessed. Uko School, Yahweh International School. Jennifer, one more day, Pao. Uko School, Yahweh International School. Ewo John Tay. Ofanko Barrier, JHS1. Happy birthday to you. We free AD Kwame. Or no enemy DOP. Abusia ahana EDBC.